Now we're live. Thanks, Jet. All right, welcome to the Tournameta podcast, episode 3. We've done well. We haven't crashed and burned yet. We're still alive. Jet's been keeping me out the back in a cage for a little bit and just lets me out these fortnightly times. All I've got is Twitter and Facebook Messenger up until then. But hey, it's not about me. It's our latest guest, the number one on the Queensland PR, the recently travelled man who has been around since Smash 4, a veteran of the scene, SadHour, Finn, as most people know him locally in Queensland. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. A bit sick, so I apologise if my voice sounds a bit funny, but
It is winter. Most people are pretty sick.
quite good. I'm good.
How was your trip?
To Bali?
Yeah, I heard you lost your phone.
Oh, yeah, that was, yep. Otherwise, it was pretty good. It was quite good up until that point. I don't know, I think I would have liked to go to mainland Indonesia, see like Jakarta and stuff, but it was just like I think it was less about like the place and more about like how Bali's typically a pretty comparatively cheap holiday, and we were there with lots of family friends, so that part was cool. And we did go see like some cool things, like we went to this really cool like cafe next to a waterfall and stuff like that. So up until me losing my phone,
probably stolen.
Oh, it was stolen, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I can talk about how I lost it, because we just like went out.
Let's start off with that. I mean, this is a Smash podcast, but I'm actually interested, and I think most people are as well. How did this happen? Because it sounds a little, I don't know, scary.
Not that scary. At least not at the time. Probably because of the alcohol.
Right.
So we went. Let's see. So I was there with some friends, and that day when we were walking back home from somewhere, I forgot where it was, we saw that there was this pool competition at this place.
Right.
So one of my friends was quite good at pool. So later on that night, I think it was like 8 o'clock, he entered that. He didn't win any money, but it was really, really like exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how was it? So it was about like 10 entrants, and how it worked was each person like took a turn, and that turn they had to sink a ball.
Oh, yeah.
And if they didn't sink it, then they lost a life. So one of 3 lives. So it was just like that until last person remaining, and then after each round, you could just like everyone could just buy back in again.
Yep.
So we did that for a while. There were lots of drinks had during that. Then we went to like this club place, and we were there for a while. So not only were we like very drunk, we also kind of deaf.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, because
so then we walked out, and then we walked down. This is, if anyone's been there, this is in the Kutai area. So this is near the where the memorial is now, where the Bali bombings were.
Oh, right.
So if you remember that, around that time. So, and I didn't have my hands in my pocket or anything, so someone probably just walked past me and then just, like, sleight of hand, like Sneak 100, just took
I mean,
the
he
phone.
probably saw you a little while coming off. You're deaf, you're shouting drunk.
Yeah, so FGC nod, well played, Bali.
Well played, Bali.
I tried, doing, like, find my phone and stuff, but I bought, like, this cheap SIM card and stuff, and it ran out before it was supposed to, so that didn't help either.
Jeez Louise.
We asked around a bit. There's some, some people were quite helpful. Like, one person, like, showed me, like, you can use, like, Google to track your phone. So,
yeah.
I already tried, like, find my phone and stuff. So, and even had, like, this Indonesian to English translator to help. So, and also before I went, I tried learning a little bit of Indonesian as well, just through my phone. Because I know generally when I travel, I like to try and learn at least a little bit of the language I'm doing, especially like saying like thank you and stuff. I find that people seem to appreciate that more. Or at least I think that. But yeah, I was lost. But then the next day we went to the police station, got a report, so that can be used for insurance. So I think I should be mostly fine. And
they're not going to be hitting you overseas though and being like, "Hey, we found it."
Well, funny that because so I have the Find My iPhone thing.
Yeah.
So even though the 4G doesn't work, like the mobile data, it does occasionally like ping and tell me where it is.
Oh.
just if it connects to any like Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Which is very frustrating, especially now that I'm here, because I just see it and I'm like, oh, there it is.
Is it like anywhere in the area? Or
Yes, it's like not that far. Like it pinged one day and we were like, I feel like we maybe over dramatized it, like how dangerous it would be to like go and check out, because it's just like a ping. Like it's just like, here it is at like this, just like a snapshot.
That's kind of exciting, honestly.
Yeah.
That's like a treasure hunt.
Yeah. But I don't know
Your
if
phone's
there's any.
hitting
I'm
you
not
up like SadHour. You're my only help.
Yeah.
You're my only hope. Please come help me.
Yeah, it would be like, well, chances I would be there and be like Mario 1, and the phone's in another. Instead of Pete's just another castle, the phone's in another shack or bar or something. But I don't think that chances of me getting that phone specifically back are particularly high. But
that's pretty unfortunate.
well, it happens.
But you still got some good news. While you were over there, you found out that you were number 1 on the PR.
Yes.
So while you were still mourning, you did.
Well, this was
have
before
something.
the phone was.
Oh no! So this was a recompense.
I got the
for
good
your
news and then the bad news. Yeah, I had to. I felt feeling good, and then life had to kick me down.
So after you lost your phone, you were just like, at least I'm number 1 on PR. Or
yeah, whoever stole my phone.
Yeah, 1v1 and me and Smash for it. You wish. They wish. They'd probably be down for it. Anyway, no. Tell me about this PR process. Did you think you were gonna get number 1?
After the Ranbat, I wasn't too sure, because I was like, I personally think the Ranbat should be weighted quite heavily because they're like the big monthlies, and I didn't get top 3 at any of them. This month I got like, I think it was like 7th, 5th, and then 7th again. So top 8 in each one, like not awful, but not the performance you'd expect from someone who's like number 1.
Yeah, the PR panelists are all sweating now that you've mentioned that.
But like I think just winning like every FNS and then having like really good records over both Ben and SadHour, even if I haven't beaten Shitashi, even though I think I've only lost to him like twice this season, but I haven't beaten him like this year. So I think it's reasonable to have me number 1, but I was like fine. I would have been fine with being like 1 to 3. I would have understood that. I think it just depends on what you'd weight.
Well, I mean, between the top 4, SadHour, Shitashi, Ben, and you, it is actually really tough sometimes to pick them apart.
Yeah.
I think you guys each have your own like achievements to sort of justify where you are in the top 4.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't think if they were shuffled around that much, anybody would sort of bat an eye too much at it. They'd be like, that seems reasonable because they all are that sort of staple of skill level.
Yeah, because
you reckon you're all that level? Like you're a tier above everybody else, and you could.
I think the cutoff is pretty clear at this point. Because right after that is Flex, and he's still good, but he hasn't like he didn't win any of the Rambats or anything like that.
Well, I was doing my duty like I'm supposed to for the podcast, and I was looking at it, and I was actually really surprised because Ari from the past 3 months maybe not deserve that. But from his previous performances in the last couple of weeks, number 6 seems completely misjudged from what he's been doing lately. Do you reckon he's part of that top 4?
Ari, right now? I'd probably say no, because I think... let's see. Oh, I might have to look closer, but I don't think he's beaten Ben, and he hasn't beaten me, and he's only beaten SadHour like once. And I think he's beaten Shitashi like... I think Shitashi's probably the one he has the best record against. Yeah. So I feel like to be in that top 4, you need to be like equally contending with at least, or like the balance of how you do against the other 3 or 4 or whatever needs to like have you like an equal contender. Yeah. So even though I like lose to Shitashi, like I've lost him like every time, I like haven't lost to Ben in the past 3 months, and I've did a really good record against SadHour as well. So that balances out.
Do you have the secret ability, like a bunch of secrets that you've downloaded to be able to beat Ben and SadHour, or is it just like you think you've got their number and you're able to read them really well?
I think personally, I think it's partially because of the matchups I have. I think Snake does really well against, probably Snake. Like I think the characters I play are just outright better than theirs. Like, so, I think Lucina's a very good matchup against Ken. I think she's very good at abusing his weaknesses, and Snake against both K-Rool and Bowser. If he starts against Ben, often my mentality, my mindset, if I get a hit is I can just keep this going. Yeah. It almost feels like I can keep it going across stocks. The momentum just stays there. And I guess that might be part of why I haven't really beaten Shitashi as much, because I think Mega Man, if I had to say, I'd probably lean towards Mega Man beating Snake.
Right.
I wouldn't say he beats Lucina, but I do find it difficult, like the way to approach the matchup. But I
that
see
might be Shitashi as well as the way he plays the matchup.
Yeah.
Like, I think you might find with other Mega Mans, they leave themselves open a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which might mean that you can sort of press the advantage forward, like you were saying. But, yeah, no, I totally get that. It's pretty rough. Do you reckon other Snakes would agree with you as well? Like, it's more of a general thing, or is it just like the way that you've developed your personal playstyle with those characters?
Like against Mega Man, or?
Oh, against
I
all
think
of them. Because I know,
as time goes on, like with the Snake possibly even being the best character in the game, it's a more like popular sentiment.
Yeah.
And among Snake players, I don't think like the consensus is. I think the consensus is he does like pretty well against heavies.
Yeah.
Except maybe, I don't know. I remember like when I played against Dr. Anus, I found his Donkey Kong quite hard. I beat his like Fox game 1, and then he beat me.
Switched to the DK.
Yeah, and that ended up being what won in the Game 5 set. But that was a while ago.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've probably both developed in different ways after that. But like that's the only one that I could feel like.
Maybe that's not That's weird. I don't know too much about like where Snake is probably going in this matter, but a lot of people saying that he's number 1. Yeah. And when I say a lot of people, I see like the Twitter ramblings, and a lot of people also saying Joker's up there as well. But do you reckon that Snake has like sort of earned that position of being at least in the talk of like top 3 characters or the number 1, or do you reckon he's like not there at all?
Like overrated?
Yeah.
Or so if I were just to, I don't know, if I were to just like keep going to, if I didn't see like, I don't know, like discussion of it on Twitter and things like that, and people saying that, I wouldn't feel like Snake's the best in the game because of mainly because of his matchup spread. So like, even though his strengths are like really, really, really good, and I think he's a really good character, like I still feel like, oh, he loses like to this, and this. Like, I think he can struggle with like Inkling, possibly Palutena, Mega Man, Lucas, Ness. There's another one, maybe Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah.
But then like I can very clearly see the arguments, like for him being one of the best, if not the best, just because of how. First of all, he feels like a very privileged character a lot of the time. Like you just see him like up tilt, and then like, oh, it missed, and then they kind of just move into the lingering hitbox, and the weak hit's still really strong.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, and like his dash attack, they just like he doesn't really he almost doesn't have a bad move, like that kind of thing, and his moveset's so like diverse and so versatile that he still has like the options to deal with those matchups.
Play into like a lot of different matchups if he finds the right tools in the right order and whatnot.
And perhaps like my experience with like previous Smash games leads me to believe that the best character in the game shouldn't have any losing matchups. Like, I don't think Smash 4 Bayonetta towards the end had any losing matchups. I don't think,
sure.
Like,
no, I'd agree.
Brawl Meta Knight had any losing matchups, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the stuff like playing Lucina, even though I feel like I like playing Snake more, I guess when I play Lucina, I just feel like she's better.
Righto.
But I think that might be because she's simpler.
Yeah,
and I almost have a more intuitive understanding of how to use her than Snake.
I think there's a little bit of grounds for that, for sure. No, it's always interesting to me because, we always talk about it. Like, it gets brought up in a conversation, but I don't think really people value the weight of the statement that, like, there are so many matchups in the game right now. It's ridiculous, and it's going to become more once DLC comes out, and, who knows how many we're going to get. But people can look at, like, Snake, who's a popular character that a lot of people play, who's obviously good, but isn't exposed to the variety of matchups there are. I mean, like, the top 4, Ken, who isn't even that, like, super popular. He's the better...
in Queensland?
Or just, like, in the overall meta at the moment. I'm branching across I'm mostly talking about, like, America and maybe a little bit of Japan, but, like, it's hard to sort of get a consensus of what's really going on in Japan, considering how, like, people are really character devoted. And in Australia as a whole, like, I think you're not going to get a whole lot of Mega Mans or Kens or, like, Lucases, like, who are top level, and then be exposed to them as so much level that that you can be like, I definitively win the matchup. You have to rely on sort of like, oh, this is my instinct for it because I'm not going to get the exposure I need. Like, online maybe, but... And we get a lot of people who sort of, like, are putting out these tier lists and matchup charts at the moment, and I just don't know if that's like the right time. Do you reckon like it's developed enough that we're at a point that we have accurate like levels of analysis, or is it?
I think at any point it's fine to do analysis, but people should be able to like qualify what they're saying. Like I think it's okay to go, I don't know this. So a lot of good, even like top players, like when they're making like matchup charts, will just put, or like tier lists or something, they'll just go, I don't know these characters. I don't have the experience to. Yeah, because there's like a bunch of characters in this game that I literally haven't played against.
Yeah.
Like in bracket, so I just don't know.
Which is cool. Like honestly, when I see that, I thought we would go on to see Jace, Rosalina, and Luma last Friday Night Smash.
But he didn't enter.
Didn't enter. No, and so like there's a lot of matchups where I'm like, I wish I could see that at the top level, and you don't get it. But honestly, it makes me a little happy because being a Lucas main in Smash 4, it was so hard to find high tier level play. Besides Luco and
there was
Tejada,
and there was in the US there was
two. There was
Mekos
and
Pink Fresh had one for a while, but then it's Bayo. So
he dropped that. Bayo was.
Oh, Shine in SoCal?
Yeah. And I think that for a lot of top tier players, it's starting to become like that. That you have like one or two players that you can sort of look at, and then not much else. So like for Zero Suit Samus, like you used to have Nairo, and then Mars, and a bunch of other mid tier players that you can sort of pick up a bunch of tricks for. And now it's more just like Mars.
There's quite a few Japanese. There's Shiki, Choco, Yamanyon.
Yep.
If you're willing to look, there tends to be at least a few.
In Japan, there's always that, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, where's my like something that I can learn everything from? And it's like always in Japan. Like they've got the best player doing stuff with your character you never thought
Or just
possible.
hope like Tweak or Zachary just plays them for a week. And then,
then how are they doing that? Isn't that insane that they're able to like pick up a character and then just like play at the top level? Or do you reckon that's a symptom of Ultimate, like that there is more of a homogeny to the character list at the moment?
I think there are definitely some like mechanics in the game which have served to equalize the characters. For example, like the jump squat thing. Everyone's got 3 frames on the jump squat. Defensive options like one thing like with parries, like one thing I kind of like about it is it kind of serves to equalize defensive options. So if you have bad out of shield options, like at least like you're rewarded for timing your parry well. At least theoretically.
Advent.
And spot dodging is good for everyone because spot dodging is just good.
Spot dodging is nuts at the moment.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, it almost feels like an oversight with how good it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that, and they're also just like fast learners.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
I don't know. It's hard to like understand the inner machinations of their minds, but there's probably something like in their brains that's like geared towards like
Smash.
learning things.
Yeah.
And they also with like Tweak, Leo, I don't know as much about Zachary, but probably Zachary, but like Smash is like their life.
Yeah.
So they
100%.
definitely have the time to just sort and pick up characters because they
out.
still like Tweak and stuff, like they still say like, oh, we've worked really hard on this character. So they don't just say like, oh, I just picked them up like a week ago. And I didn't do anything and now I'm the best. Like definitely. They do say like, we worked hard on this.
And they'll have like a couple of pockets that they're working on because it's part of their job. So they might have like be using a Young Link for a week, but that's just because the Young Link is looking best out of their roster of like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really because I read somewhere that there's this like sort of balance between if you're looking to make a character roster balanced in comparison to it being like variable, you're sort of sacrificing one or the other. So like if you have a perfectly balanced roster, it's just the same character 80 different times.
Yeah, that's like what was it? My Smash Corner?
Yeah.
He made his video about like balance.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what he said. If you had like a homogeneous game where everyone has access to the same thing, then it's perfectly balanced. But if it's more varied, then it's more interesting, but the chances of it being balanced is harder.
But I find it really impressive that Smash is, I think, more balanced than Smash 4, but with way more characters. And they have to have all these like extra moves about them too. But I feel like a lot of moves were changed to be generally good since Smash 4, and a lot of the stuff that was like really different was just changed or nerfed to a point that it's like not as good. So I feel like they've directed and moved it towards a more homogeneous roster. But I think maybe with what they'll do is what they did with Smash 4 is that when DLC starts to come out, they're not going to really be able to test how those work in the pool until they come out, and then they're going to be really good. Because if they're not good, why are you going to buy them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to the DLC or?
In terms of actually playing them, the hero from Dragon Quest looks like a character
That you would,
that I'd probably enjoy, because I remember when I saw that, I was like, "Wow, this character's Robin."
Yeah,
but they might be good.
I was like, "Damn, man, that's good Robin."
Yeah, it's good Robin, so that's exciting. But then I don't know. I've just heard other weird things. Like there was some interview about how their moves might be random.
Yeah,
that they picked
seemed nuts.
So if it's like that, I just find that really hard to wrap my head around.
I can't see a character that's so beloved by the Japanese audience not being really good. So I don't understand. I don't think that they'll make it random, but
I hope not.
Yeah, at the same time, that the move list that they've got access to seems crazy. Seems absolutely ridiculous.
Well, then you have to. It depends very heavily on how the MP system works, because I've talked to people and they're like, what if they just don't recover it at all? It's only between stocks. You start a stock and you have let's say 80 points. I think it's 80 points from the trailer, and then that's what you get.
Yeah.
So then if you run out, you can do nothing. So
you still get but your moves, but
you have very, very limited options. So
that would be sick, actually.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I don't see any necessity in making it random on what your moves are.
Yeah. Well, I thought I figured it out, or at least I don't know. Someone had this video where they're like, "Oh, they just have 16 specials." So it's 4 for, and you hold the button to bring up the menu. So if you do your up B and you hold it, then you bring up that menu. We can, you can go through and pick one.
You gotta be quick.
And that made the most sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so you'd be holding it to bring up the menu, and then you just tap it to quick do the move. So that would make sense with the 9 ones we saw so far, which are named, and then the ones, because you know how the trailer worked. At the start, it showed them doing the moves, but they weren't named yet. Yep. But then they showed them doing them with the name. So it was this is crackle smash or whatever. This is Bazinga or whatever whatever it's called.
Bazinga smash.
This is Bazinga. So it's very hard to wrap my head around. But yeah, that looks like a character that, if they make sense when they work, if it's not random completely, I'll enjoy them. And they look like they could be very, very good.
At the same time, I would really enjoy a completely random character. I think that would be really sick. I don't think the Dragon Quest is the appropriate character to do that with.
No, I don't.
But would be nuts. Have you played any of the Dragon Quests?
I played a tiny bit of 9.
Oh yeah. Was it fun?
It had. I remember when it came out, people were raving over it. I remember people saying it was really, really good. And then I think I just didn't get past that. You know how a lot of RPGs have kind of slow openings. I just didn't get past that. So
yeah, no.
That's what I mean when
I hate that when the RPG sort of drags you through it.
But I might. Is it 11? The one that's coming out? I think there's one coming. They're putting on the Switch. I might get it, but I don't know. I've got all these other games I downloaded, and some I haven't even started.
Are you gonna get Crash?
The DLC or when there's Crash DLC for the game?
Crash Team Racing.
I don't know if I get it myself, but I'd definitely be keen to play it with other people.
Yeah, right. I'll get you to play it, then you'll get it yourself for sure. You reckon Crash will be DLC since you brought it up?
I think it'll be really good because of how symbolic it would be, because you'd have the PlayStation icon. As for how likely it is, it doesn't seem less likely than Banjo. So
I don't know. I thought people from every Banjo fan I've talked to, and there's a lot of them in the US I hear, they're just super fans. They're just Banjo, the best 3D platformer there ever was. Banjo 1Z or whatever it is, was super good, and Banjo 2Z was way better. And it's just I
thought I haven't played either of them, but I feel the consensus is that 2 was still pretty good, but not as good as original. It was less the design of it was less tight. They were just big large areas with nothing in them, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, not as much love and care put into the game design world.
Still good though.
Well, yeah, I don't really listen to a lot of people when they rave about Banjo, so you're probably right. But are you gonna play Banjo then at all?
Well, of course I'll give him a try.
Yeah,
obviously.
everyone I think will be. But
Um,
do you reckon he's got potential for what you're looking for in a character?
it's a bit hard to say. Like
Just off
at this point,
yeah,
it's
true.
well, like with Snake and Lucina, I think their like matchup coverage of each other is so good that it's not really. It doesn't
Yeah,
feel
okay.
necessary for me to pick up more characters.
It'll be out of the
Even
love
if I
of the
like
character.
that, it'll be
for-
because
yeah.
I enjoy them and think they're good.
Yeah.
So, they look like they might be, but it just depends on like how certain stuff works. So like, they have a move which is a grenade. So
Yeah.
we know that grenades
What was
could be
that?
good. Well, that's one of the egg types you get, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
Because
different.
I was like, what the hell? Like, why does he have a grenade in the first place?
Yeah, well, I think in the original games you get like different kinds of eggs you can shoot. So there's like the ice ones and the fire ones and stuff. So one of them is just like a grenade. So that's one of them. So we know because of Snake that grenades can be good in Smash, but we don't know how exactly that one's gonna work. Because in the clip you see like Diddy Kong like pick it up and then like throw it. So does that mean you can just like use it against him like straight away, or can he? I don't know. Like
Yeah,
there's
there's a
stuff
lot
like
of
that,
mystery
and then
about-
how the shooting the eggs works because he can like walk forward. So we're like, oh, is this like Mega Man?
And
Like
he can just like jump around and shoot eggs
yeah,
out.
like because that would be stupid. But it looks like there's not much hits done on it and stuff.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. There's moves that like you can see them being really good, but you can also see them being really bad.
And like his super armor run through. Like
Yeah,
if
the
it's
side
super
B thing.
laggy and
Yeah,
we
there's
don't
stuff
know.
like that.
Too much we don't know. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I feel like from what we've seen about Dragon Quest, I feel like we can be like, if what we know is true, it's ridiculously good. Or
They look like they could be
it's
really
balanced.
good.
Yeah.
And I feel at least like after E3, we haven't really seen that much more of them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it feels like the general consensus or the feeling is that like the Dragon Quest characters, the hero is probably going to be quite good, and Banjo's looking kind of like mid-high tierish maybe. But it's like obviously, it's like I said before. Like I think analysis and stuff is good, or at least it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But we should qualify it. Like we don't really know.
Yeah, we're not. Disclaimer: we have no idea whether Dragon Quest or Banjo is going to be any good at all. Speaking of
We
which,
can hope
though,
so.
yeah, you're hoping Dragon Quest is good because of your Smash 4 main, Robin,
Mhm.
and you played Fire Emblem as well quite a bit, right?
So originally, I first got into Fire Emblem because of the Ambassadors program for the 3DS.
Oh, really?
So if people remember that,
I don't.
we got what? Okay, people. So when the 3DS first came out, it had like no games, and then they said sorry and did a price drop. But they're also saying sorry to the people who bought the 3DS for more. So they gave them 10 free NES and 10 free GBA games.
Right.
And one of the free GBA games was Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones, which I played through and really, really liked. So then I played through that, and then I got the Fire Emblem Awakening, and I really liked that game a lot.
Is that the one with
probably-
Robin?
That's the one with Robin,
Yeah.
Lucina, and Chrome. So I'm not actually like a massive like Fire Emblem fanboy. Like I've played through a fair bit, haven't beaten, but a fair bit of Radiant Dawn on the
Okay.
Wii. I didn't touch Fates
Why not?
because first I think it's the one that I think it's like Fire Emblem fans like least favorite.
Uh,
Also, I don't like how they did the localization. Like, remember how people were getting like angry about like there was like a petting thing and stuff they removed.
a petting thing.
You could like
Wait,
it was almost
what?
like Pokemon and me. So like I don't know, it's a bit of a weird like thing, and I get if people don't care, but I don't like the idea of like them like removing content from the game
Yeah.
and then charging the same price
Okay.
as if they didn't. Like and it just didn't look like as appealing. But Echoes, the remake of Fire Emblem 2, Fire Emblem, what's it called, Gaiden.
Okay.
That one was really good. It was really hard though. I haven't like beaten. I got like stuck, but like yeah, just play Echoes. That one's really really good. And then what makes me, even though I don't think there should be more Fire Emblem characters, if there were more, then Celica from that game would be really cool.
Are they a boy or a girl?
Celica's a girl.
Or are they? A girl. Okay.
So
And
the
what
two
weapon
main
does
characters.
she use?
She uses a sword and magic
goddamn.
magic. But I know the way magic works in that game is a little different. So instead of having like a cost like ammunition, basically,
Right.
it actually takes some of your health to use magic.
Okay.
So there could almost be like a Pichu
Pichu.
kind of mechanic. So I think it could be interesting, even though I don't think it should happen because I don't think there should be more Fire Emblem characters.
There are a lot of different weapons in Fire Emblem, aren't there?
Yeah, and obviously, So if they were to include one, it would probably be better to include someone who uses like an axe or something.
Or
So
a
Hector's
spear. I think a lot of people have been asking for a spear. It's one of the biggest reasons Bandana D is one of the up there characters that people want, because he uses a spear, or it uses a spear.
A spear would be cool. So
I think a
there's
spear would be
Ephraim.
100% toxic, to be fair. Can you imagine?
Well, it could be like, maybe it could be like a hypermath kind of thing, where
Well,
like
it's
the
no
wood part
hitbox.
of it is just doesn't do anything. And then
No, if that's what it is, if there's like a wood, like really light hitbox, I guarantee you'll have like light hitbox into strong hitbox combos at like 8%.
and that'll work at like
yeah,
high percent.
It'll be awful. But
Well, they could end up having like bad frame data or something.
Yeah,
There's
that's
characters
the
with like
thing.
tons and tons of range. They're not like the Belmonts have lots and lots of range,
Yeah.
but they're not like super broken or anything.
yeah, but I hate that bounce technique. It's something that I think Sakurai and the team have been falling into as a trope, is that they'll make somebody who's got really good, a whole bunch of different things, and then just be like, sucks
Like
off
everything,
stage.
and then
That's it.
that leads
That's their
to some
biggest
pretty
weakness.
poorly designed characters. Probably Little Mac's probably the most polarizing example. I remember seeing Tweaks tweet about Little Mac where he thinks Little Mac may actually be the worst designed character in Smash.
Yeah.
And his reasoning I like totally agree with. It's like, so this character's strengths are so like obscenely good of like being boxing, which makes sense,
Yeah.
but like it just means that like engaging with him at all is not a good idea.
Yeah.
That you should just camp him. So it just leads to really like lame gameplay that's not fun for
Anybody.
either player.
Yeah.
Um,
Or the viewer, or
yeah, no one, unless like you start making fun of it. Like I remember,
Yeah.
this was in Smash 4, but Shadru versus. Did you see the Shadru versus Vasi
I
thing
think
in
so.
Cool? The Smash 4. I remember.
And then Shadru, was that in Duck Hunt, and Shadru was hiding in the top?
I think Duck Hunt was banned by that point.
Oh,
I think it was
okay.
like Battlefield. It might have been, but basically, like Shadru was like camping when he was at a deficit. He just wasn't approaching. And I remember just like sitting in the background, like on the stream, just like dabbing occasionally, just like for the viewers at home who don't want to watch the game.
Here's my dab.
He is watching me dabbing. Yeah. So, if me dabbing is more entertaining than the game,
Then that's
there's
probably
a poorly
a problem.
designed character.
I mean, he always they had problems at the start with that though, because the game that he comes from was so simple. Like there was very few mechanics that you could actually draw from, and he had like a clear character.
Like archetype.
Yeah, exactly. And then the way that he was designed was that he was Little Mac. You know, he had to be weak from getting hit a whole bunch, so that translate to a weak recovery in Smash. But he had to be really good when he was punching, really quick, really good frame data. I think they did
have
that
the
well.
KO punch, like be able to turn around the game.
Yeah, I think as a play style, it's awful. It's toxic. It's obviously no fun. But translating him well from the game, I think he
it's
did a
quite
really
faithful.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with Bayonetta, and like every
Bayonetta's like
Bayonetta fan will tell you that.
I'm a Bayonetta fan. I love.
Really?
Yeah, I love Bayo 1 and 2.
Oh,
I was super excited when I first saw her. I was just yelling like, "Oh, that's from the game as well." Little did I know.
she'd be awful. She'd be. Remember when
Well, I
Bayonetta
didn't
first came out, and we all thought that Bayonetta would be like A tier at best,
Kind of.
because no one had like done these crazy combos yet, and we were just like,
I guess the
She's
thing
got
is like you always
weaknesses.
like even like when Piranha Plant came out in this game, you see like these massive like combos and stuff,
yeah.
but like the training room mode combos.
Oh my god.
So we saw that with Bayo, and
Yeah.
then that was like that shouldn't mean too much, and I think we
Yeah.
were at least kind of aware of it. So and then we were probably more aware of her weaknesses. We're like, oh, look at how much lag she has when she lands, like
Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that.
And then you can bait out heel slides and.
Yeah, heel slides. We didn't generally think of counters as being super duper good. There were good
Yeah.
ones, like Corrin and Shulks were good.
But they were more good because.
Like they were just strong counters.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't like, oh, this interaction can lead you dying at 8% good.
Yep. Nah, they were destroyed. Are they reading chat? Yes, we are.
We
But
can see it.
we can see it. But yeah, no, I find that designing characters, Sakurai always puts an emphasis on translating the character from the game more. I don't know.
Nowadays.
Yeah, they're back in
Post like
Brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I first came in, so that's been 100% my experience. But for sure, Ganon isn't well translated maybe from the game.
I
As
don't think Samus is either.
Really?
No.
Because I haven't played like any. I played one Samus game. It was the SNES version, I think.
Super Metroid?
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell is going on about halfway through, and I got frustrated and I quit because I'm a Crash player and I like things being really obvious and dumb so I can run right through it. But I didn't get it. But you obviously, you like the Metroid series.
Yeah. I haven't beaten Super Metroid, but I've played through a fair bit, but I've beaten like most of the other ones.
From my experience, most Metroid fans are mad chillers. I've just put that out there now. But what do you think was missing out of the character translated into Smash then?
Well, with like Smash 64, I think they had less to work with. I think it would have been harder. I guess simply put, like, she boxes too much. She fights and like punches and kicks,
Right.
which she just doesn't do in Metroid. Like, there literally isn't, except the closest thing is like Other M, where you have like a melee takedown thing.
Okay.
But like
Everything else.
and actually, the Metroid 2 remake, Samus Returns, you've got like this counter move.
Yeah.
Which he like swings around.
But that was after they'd already.
Yeah,
designed
but
it,
basically, like you literally like can't punch or kick in those games. It's just different like beam types and shooting, and there's lots and lots of like moves in those games that she just doesn't use. Like there's various beam types in like the Metroid Prime games.
Yeah.
She doesn't use them, like stuff like that.
Well, I think normals being projectiles was unheard of for.
Yeah,
the Smash
up until
roster,
like Mega
so.
Man,
Yeah.
or I mean, Snake and Brawl was quite unconventional. Actually, yeah, he had the mortar as a projectile. So yeah, in Brawl, so I feel like if Samus were to be made like put in the game, like from the ground up,
Yeah.
like as a newcomer basically from like Brawl or Smash 4 onwards, she'd be much different.
Who would you play then?
I'd be more likely to, because she'd be more faithful to the Metroid games, which I really like. So,
Do you like that playstyle though? The more zoning, heavy playstyle with the projectiles.
I think it kind of depends on how it works. Like, I don't like playing as Mega Man at all. Like, I just don't I think maybe just the way his jab, like the lemons work, I find it hard to wrap my head around. But then I do like Robin. So I think if they're from a game I like and they're faithfully like recreated, there's a good chance I'll like them because I like the original game.
And you usually put in a bit of effort. Maybe not necessarily your main.
I think you're more likely to enjoy them.
Did you like PM Samus? J. Dot brought that up. I loved PM Samus personally.
I've barely played
PM.
PM, but I do really like what they did with her.
Jet Fantastic hasn't gotten to you at tournaments?
I've played I like occasionally play it, but I don't like playing games I don't intend to
go competitive at.
Yeah, or actually, it's not necessarily that. It's more like I think it'll like throw me off in Ultimate if I played PM a bunch.
More so in Ultimate than in Smash 4 because the mechanics are actually similar.
Yeah.
I mean, not including parry, but like the movement, directional air dodge.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So that's a bit more similar, but I basically like I really like what they did with Samus and PM. I think she's much more faithful. Like switching between beam types is a very Metroid thing.
Yeah.
Being her like crawling around and stuff is super cool.
Yeah.
I think it like I don't think the rolling is her rolling in the morph ball doesn't, or at least it just is what kind of what makes her bad or part of it. Like because it's such a bad roll, like there's that kind of thing. So I really like what they did with her.
But it's the longest roll in the game.
Yeah. And look how small she goes.
Wow. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I was playing a bit of Mortal Kombat when that came out, and definitely you need to be able to find a character that you quite like, which is tricky for games that have like their own all IP rosters, because then they have to sort of like find people who are going to enjoy this character just based on its design alone. Yeah. When I feel like if you've got a character from another series that you really like, or if it's just part of the Nintendo series.
You've got like a gateway.
Yeah. Which is more becoming a what Smash is about. Sort of like trying to find that. You played any of the Persona games?
Nope.
But
I'd like to.
Joker. Did you play any Final Fantasy games?
Yeah, I've played a little bit of 7 and a little bit of 15. And I downloaded 10 and 10.2 on my Switch, but I haven't started them. So I'll get on that.
7 is some crazy shit. I'm going to say that. I played that. I got up to the part where you dress up like a girl and then you get molested by a bunch of dudes in the bar.
Yeah, I got past that part.
Yeah, no, I just got to that part and I went, holy Christ. And I just took a break.
They sort of just do anything.
Yeah. Do you reckon they'll do that in the remake?
I think they will because they want to be faithful.
Yeah.
Or, it probably, I don't know exactly how they might not have that part specifically. I don't know, it's a bit weird because
there's no way that they're even allowed to do that anymore, right? Like that is so, with the graphics they've got, that leaves nothing to the imagination anymore.
Well, he's in a dress. I don't know. That's weird to think
He gets
of. I think-
tickled.
yeah.
He's clearly not enjoying it. But the tickling is only
It's just
acceptable.
it's just these like polygon like seven
Giant dudes.
pixels. So I don't know. The times are different.
Yeah,
So
that's tough.
I think they'll do like something like that because they want to be faithful.
Yeah,
But I think they'll change it to
something a little less risque.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they'll actually make it just like tickling, and then
It'll
everyone
just
will be
be tickling.
weirded out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or they could just do a part where like I don't know, he's walking through in the dress and everyone and they think he's a woman and
Yeah,
they're all swooning, something like that.
or like a secret button combination you have to do to unlock the proper scene and stuff like that.
Maybe. I
Well,
don't think they'd do that. But
no, probably not. But
I think they'll have something in there, but it'll probably be toned down.
okay,
That's my thinking.
no secret
the
scenes.
There might be like there'll probably be secrets in the game,
Yeah,
but I don't think there'll be. something
Capcom
like
does secret scenes.
Like
I
what?
was so upset that I don't know if this is for sure, but when they remade Resident Evil 2, they didn't do the tofu run. In Resident Evil 2, you could play as like a little tofu.
You can play as Tofu in the remake.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
so I've played through. I got the remake and I've played through it, and
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
But
good,
yeah,
eh?
there's the extra
played it.
Tofu survivor mode,
Yeah.
so you can play as different Tofus. And I don't know if you can play through like the main campaign, but it's pretty similar. You can
Okay.
get your tofu fill by playing Resident Evil 2.
See,
the
that
remake.
kind of stuff I love in games, eh? And then, like, I've been playing Crash.
Just that random, like, just for fun.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. We'll just do it.
Well, in Crash, they still included the cheat code to unlock Penta Penguin.
What's that?
It was like one of the secret characters in Crash
can
Team Racing. You'd input a secret code, and then you would unlock it.
Is he like super broken or?
He was in the original. He had full stats in the original. In this one, he's just a speed character, which is basically super broken anyways. But it was so crazy to me because it's like the first time that I've input cheat code in a controller in a modern game in like the past 3 years. But
Yeah.
like you can rely
I think
on like
it just
really
feels archaic. I guess before. I think
Yeah.
it's probably because of like the internet and stuff like that.
good. Yeah.
So before it would have been cool because like you'd have to like find out like from somebody.
Yeah. Call up
And-
Sega support, be like, how do I unlock Tails?
Yeah, or see it in like a gaming magazine or something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe it was like this whole like industry cartel kind of thing where the gaming magazines were like, I'll put cheat codes in your game and then
Yeah.
I'll have them in here. So then maybe something like that. But the presence of the internet and also like probably makes that I don't know, like that makes it a bit less special. And I
Yeah.
guess maybe there's more of an approach like in like game design philosophy of like making it like a consistent and like pure experience.
Right.
And then there might be a feeling of like, oh, if someone can just put a cheat code in and then enter it, then
It's not
what's the
consistent
point?
and
They'll just
pure.
do that.
Yeah.
And there's also the fact that maybe instead of cheat codes, they can just do microtransactions. That's a
Yeah,
point where they can make money.
microtransactions,
So
Jesus.
Yep.
Anyway, let's get back to Smash and Smash Meta for a little bit. Right before we go back, I want to talk about you playing Interstate.
Mhm.
But before that, what do you think, or I'll ask you two questions. What do you think is the most likely DLC to come out?
okay,
And what would your wish,
what would I personally want?
what would be your dream? It can be as irrational as you want. You
Um,
can say Shrek 3D.
So for likely DLC, for the next two, it's a bit hard to say. Seeing the Dragon Quest hero made me feel like the Monster Hunter is a bit more likely because
Yeah.
they're considered like Japan more, and Monster Hunter is massive in Japan.
Yeah.
And they're already like working well with Capcom.
Yeah.
So I feel it'd be easier. In fact, it's almost like doesn't make sense because that they're not in there because the Rathlos
Yeah.
is a boss in the game. So there's already
As
Monster
soon
Hunter.
as I saw Rathlos, I thought
Monster
Hunter's
Hunter,
in the
yeah.
game, yeah.
So I'd really like it. There was a period where I was super into Monster Hunter. I'm probably a bit burnt out on it now.
Did you know Monster Hunter's in Infinity?
Oh, in
Marvel
Marvel
vs.
vs. Capcom. Yeah. I haven't seen a whole lot of that game, but she
Yeah,
looks pretty faithfully
roundabout
recreated in
When
that
she
game.
came out, everyone dropped that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd be super down. As for other characters, that are likely, It's really hard to say because it seems like at this point
They've covered a lot of the really important bases.
and I think they're going to likely do one that people want. So I don't think it's just going to be another Pokemon or another Fire Emblem or something. In fact,
I don't know. New Pokemon's coming out, isn't it? Shield and Sword.
yeah, but
We'll get that little ice cream character in.
we'll get the whatever. We'll get the fish and chips Pokemon. It's
Fish
based
and
on
chips.
London or whatever.
No, but yeah, I think at this point we're looking at a lot of like the gaming icons of like Rayman, Crash. I don't know so much about the Microsoft icons.
Yeah.
Like Master Chief. I don't know how likely that is. Shitashi said Doom Guy. I don't know how likely that is because of the separation between design styles. Like Doom is a very like super violent game. I don't know how comfortable they are putting that into Nintendo, but he is a gaming icon.
Yeah.
Bunch of other ones.
Yeah.
Anything
I think,
that sticks out to you?
there's lots of one. I think Crash could work as well. He absolutely would work.
Yeah.
Like if they wanted to, they could do it.
He's just like fallen off as an IP though. That's my biggest.
I feel like there's more of a resurgence because of the remakes and stuff. But yeah, other than that, there's not a whole lot going for him. But I don't think that should matter too much because there's not much going for Banjo.
Yeah.
I started
true.
Smash now and he got in. So. What was I going to say before? Oh, no, I think what they're kind of trying to do with DLC is like rope more people into Smash
Yes.
that might not be interested.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like people playing Persona may not have been interested before, but they're more interested now. Same might go for Dragon Quest, or at least they know Dragon Quest is a massive, massive fan base
Yeah.
in Japan.
As well as it's like a mutual benefit because if you've got a character that you really like in Smash, if you're a Smash player. Like, I never played any of the other games until I started playing a lot of Lucas. And then I was like, you know what? I should probably try out these games. Maybe it'll give me a little helping hand on what the character's all about.
Yeah.
And so I think it goes both ways. Like, I want to play Persona now. Because it's in Smash. It's probably
I'm more
worth
interested
it.
in Persona now. I'm pretty sure, like with Xenoblade, I think I knew Xenoblade Chronicles was a good game. Like I was aware of it. But like Shulk, I think Shulk being in Smash, and then it coming out on the new 3DS because I bought that and then I bought the new 3DS version, and like I love Xenoblade Chronicles now. I think it's probably my favorite JRPG I've ever played.
Wow.
I think I
That's
haven't played a whole lot of JRPGs. I wouldn't say I'm like an expert, but it's definitely my
you've
favorite.
played the big ones. You got Fire Emblem, a little bit of Final Fantasy, Xenoblade, and
I've played through like most of the Pokemons, or at least like modern Pokemon. But
so that's a lot. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Dragon Quest 9.
Tiny bit,
bit.
almost not worth mentioning.
Right. Okay. So we'll scratch that one. But yeah, so you got a little bit.
I played through like a bit of Bravely Default, but like I think the reason I like it so much is because of the stuff I don't like about JRPGs, or like none of it's in there. There's none of like this, like there's no random encounters in the game. You don't have to like manage like items and things like that. It feels like you can just like play through the game like optimally, or like play through to like actually win each encounter instead of trying to have to like, like level up under-leveled members of your party, things like that, because they just all level up.
That's a really like key modern RPG aspect that a lot of people are sort of like seeking and finding difficult, like not making it about your stats, making it about like how do you outplay each individual situation.
And it feels like you actually have to play like intelligently around the different boss. So I did get like fairly stuck in a lot of points, and like I think the story is really, really good. The world is interesting.
Okay. Like
it's just really, really good.
Well, maybe a couple of people are sold.
Yeah, it's on the how people play now. Like I said before, there's the new 3DS version. If you have a Wii U, it's on the Wii, like the Virtual Console.
Oh wow.
For the Wii, it was originally on the Wii.
Maybe it'll be on the Switch Lite.
They might port it, maybe if they do something.
You gonna get a Switch Lite?
Probably not.
Okay.
There's not much. I have a Switch, so there's not really much reason for me to get the Lite.
Okay, and then the second question before we forget that, your most wanted.
Most wanted is Leon from Resident Evil. Or Leon or Jill from Resident Evil. No question. I love Resident Evil so much.
I tried going through 4 on the computer because I never owned a Nintendo console besides the Game Boy. But the controls are too difficult on the computer at the moment. It's just too rough.
Just like a mouse and keyboard?
Yeah.
Can't you just connect like a controller?
Yeah, I got an Xbox controller. I could probably connect it too.
They'll work. But then I haven't played all of them, but I love the Resident Evil games I've played. I love 4. I love the 2 remake. I love 7. I really like Revelations and Revelations 2.
Right.
Just that like style of gameplay, like tense like inventory management,
survival horror, right?
survival
Yeah.
horror. I just find it super duper appealing and engaging, and I think like there's just so much like that would be really really cool about them being in the game, like kind of like Snake, like a character that's focused on like modern weaponry.
Yeah.
But like Snake doesn't really use guns, so someone who could use guns. And there's also the fact that like I think Resident Evil is like the poster for horror games.
Righto.
And there's not like it's like the most iconic.
Yeah, it
for
is
horror games.
Definitely.
So that's not really represented. Like the closest you could get is like Castlevania, maybe.
Yeah, and that's not really horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe at the time the original ones could be considered like horror because they kind of have that tense.
Yeah, I
Sort
mean,
of-
for the arcade age, sort of, for the first one. Simon's Quest, I don't know if I'd call that one horror. That was more of an RPG.
Weird like RPG.
Yeah, that
and all-
one sucked.
but yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
I really love the Resident Evil games, and they'd be ones that I'd love to be represented. Like, ideally, it would be like, I think there's lots of characters in Resident Evil, like lots of ones you play as.
Yeah.
So I think the 2 that would make the most sense would be either Leon or Jill. So Leon's the protagonist of
It's got to be Leon.
yeah.
He's the protagonist of 4,
4.
which is one of the greatest games of all time.
Yes, and it was originally like a game. It was a bit weird. Like it was originally meant to be like a GameCube exclusive,
Yes.
but then it wasn't. But I think it's pretty. It's kind of got a bit of a tie to the GameCube, even if it's
Yeah.
on everything. But there's also the fact that Jill is like one of the 2 protagonists of the original, and she's
Yeah.
also in Revelations, like the main character of Revelations, which was
Righto.
originally a 3DS exclusive. So maybe what they could do is either have them be skins of each other or like echoes.
Echoes would be sick.
If they were echoes of each other, like a Simon and Richter thing, where they're not really different, but they're
They've got different
presented
visuals.
differently.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be the best. And they'd have like different
I
skins.
like the little differences though, personally. I like the Peach and Daisy dynamic because it gives you a little bit more of like, oh, I'm a Daisy main or I'm a Peach
You just
main.
play the one you want,
Yeah,
even
though
if they're the same. Actually, there used to be that little difference between like the turnips, like the
Yeah.
knockback was, but then they removed that.
yeah,
So I don't get exactly why they did that, but
probably
stuff like that. But
so it's the visuals
above-
the same.
anyone else, the Resident Evil character, most likely Leon.
I'd be down for them. I'd be down for Leon, Monster Hunter, Doom Guy, and Crash.
Doom Guy would be cool. Even though I've never, like the most of like Halo I've played is at like friends' houses, stuff like
Yeah,
that. But I think Master Chief would be cool because of how like just insane that would
Yeah.
be.
As someone who got the Hayabusa armor and the katana on their character for Halo 3, Master Chief would definitely be really cool. But I also really struggle to see him in Smash. It's such a weird...
It would be so strange, but like so
Yeah. I guess
so iconic.
the closest thing to him would be Samus. But a lot of Halo was about the vehicles. You would get the ghosts and the banshees and the tanks, and that's how you did a lot of different fighting. Like every map almost had a vehicle. And then you've got the different weapon classes, like snipers and stuff like that. The thing is, though, I think if you got Master Chief, I find it really hard to then also have Doom Guy. I feel like it has to be one or
Because
the other.
they're similar, yeah.
They're so similar.
So, and I think I remember when watching the podcast, you were talking about how like Master Chief probably is like more iconic now, but
Yeah.
Doom, in terms of like the history of like FPSs,
Yeah.
like the original like Doom and Wolfenstein, like those id
Yeah.
Software games, like are more like pioneers,
For sure.
similar to how Dragon Quest is for JRPGs.
Yeah. A lot of things Doom was like the first to do, and the level of technicality that they brought was incredible and obviously inspired people for ages. Halo, though, has just got like such a huge
It's
fan
so
base
massive.
behind it. And Xbox is actively trying to push for, I think I mentioned this last time, more kind of like,
Like crossover.
yeah, crossovers to a bunch of different ones because they're branching into a cloud. But yeah, I agree. I think Leon would be sick. But I did mention, after this, we'll be talking about your interstate performance. Because I think, correct me if you think this isn't true, but as the number one in Queensland, in comparison to like Ben and Shadru, your performance is a little bit mistranslated interstate. Do you reckon that's for any particular reason? Because I know other people say, oh, it's like you play Snake and a lot of people know the matchup. But do you reckon it's like the way that you play? Because okay, you go.
For Ultimate specifically, it's a bit hard to say because I've only been to Gong. But
when I talk about it, of course, I have a Smash 4 veterans bias.
Yeah. Given Smash 4, I think I definitely underperformed interstate. I think it's a bit hard to pin down why, but I think it might be due to like just like how I approach the game and stuff. I think there was like this feeling that I'd like get better against people as I played them across multiple sets, and you just don't have the
luxury of that.
You just can't do that, and that I think that's part of what separates some of the best players in the world from people who are good, because the best players in the world make adaptations like really, really fast.
Yep.
They'll like instantly recognize what's going wrong and fix it.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't do that. Also, I think I don't know. Generally, I found like Smash 4 to just be an inconsistent game.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't like how it was 2 stocks like with Rage, like best of 3. Like it was just super duper
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, no, I've always thought that about your playstyle in particular. I remember the first time we played, it was just like, you got a little bit of a read on Diddy Kong, and then I was like, oh, he has no idea about this Mario strat. And I just did this like dumbass Mario combo on you. And then the next time I played Mario against you, it was just like, no hope. You knew how to get out of it. You knew the counterplay to it. And that's what I've seen you be able to do, is sort of like understand what's going on in a set, reflect on it, and then act on it the next set. And I feel like that's like really difficult to do interstate. You sort of have to do your pre-research and then be able to go in and be like, okay, this is the counters I've sort of observed. But do you reckon you've changed as a player that's not entirely accurate in Ultimate, and that you're more adaptable on the fly?
It's a bit hard to say because I think I did like improve adaptation and stuff. So for Gong, like some examples were that I played against Inpool's Party Cats. I think he's from ACT or Sydney. The Pac-Man. Yeah. So I lost game 1, and then I started like making adaptations game 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But on the other hand, I still get like I got like reverse 3-0'd by at Lowe's. So I think that meant that like they were making adaptations better than I was. Like that I was able to take 2 games, but then they were able to take 2, and I wasn't able to take like another like the next one, like make the counter adaptations.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, like at Lowe's is still like a really good player.
Yeah.
Like he
got. You don't want to take anyone away, anything away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bit hard to say because of like lack of traveling.
Yeah. How do you think you would go then if you started going? Where do you reckon you would sort of place at some of the tournaments that have gone by? Like
if I was at BAM or something.
Yeah, if you were at BAM, or maybe you didn't go to Phantom, did you?
No.
No, yeah. Phantom.
BAM or Big Win Champs or something.
Yeah.
About
the same as.
I think I should have. They should seed me to be like top 16.
Yep.
But I don't know if I'd actually get that. I think it kind of depends on who I play against as well. Like I could just play against someone who I don't know what to do. I guess I think I go against some players with like a game plan, but then it's a bit too like narrow.
Yeah.
Or like a bit too like it's not flexible enough.
Yeah, that's
like
the
I think if it doesn't work like straight away, then I'd kind of struggle to like formulate another one. Yeah. And I think that's something I'm trying to improve upon, but I think it's a bit hard to do when you're just in one state.
Yeah.
And then when the game plan like works pretty much every time.
Then once it starts to be challenged.
Like against like SadHour or something, like at least right now, like having, the simple like Lucina game plan of like, play like outplay him in neutral.
Yeah. And
then just abuse him off stage. It works, and I don't need to change it too much. I'm never really forced to. Like I've never super duper forced to change against some players. Against a lot of our good players. And it's hard to get practice against people who make you change your game plan.
You watch sets, right? Like
yeah, I watch. Yeah.
Do you watch other state sets?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the things that a lot of different interstaters don't do. I don't know how popular the Tournameta stream is in other states, but you probably only have like the streams and the hearsay to go by. But there are any particular players, like, do you reckon you'd have a good shot at the top level in Australia? Like players that you sort of like, I think I get their play style.
That I could do well against.
Yeah.
Well, Ben Gold shouldn't count. Cause
No, he counts. Sorry, it's Ben Gold. We'll count that one.
All right.
But anyone else?
I have to remember like who's actually the best. Like I said, I did go game 5 without Lowe's.
Yeah, and he's
so
pretty good.
I think I don't know whether I could make. I don't know. I feel like my snake's gotten better since Gong.
Do you reckon you're the best snake in Oz?
No, I think I'd probably get that to. I think snakes right now. I think Tommy's probably the best.
Yep.
And then Killy, and then, then maybe me.
Okay.
I think.
But you have the duality of also then having the Lucina.
Lucina, yep.
Yeah, which is also really good.
I think having a secondary for Snake is good.
Yeah?
Because of like what I mentioned before, the matchup spread. Even if I think he probably can handle them, but that
it
might be simpler and easier. And if you already have that experience with a character like that in Smash 4, so like I played Marth in Smash 4 and Lucina's really good, so it just made sense.
I know a lot of people don't really understand what that is to sort of like not the Snake Lucina, but sort of be able to have a target in Queensland and sort of build your way up to that. Because I know some people will compare their Lucina to yours or compare their Snake to yours and be like, that's the top level in Queensland. Once you reach the top level in Queensland, it is really difficult to sort of look for inspiration or play and be like, this is where I need to go if you're not actively competing against them. I think that's sort of what people miss quite a lot out of the top players, and it's something that like you have to look at your own play and then sort of be inspired to change and improve. Is that something that you do? Because I know like we have some of the best players come from that mentality of like setting a goal and then constantly improving and like just throwing yourself at something. Like SadHour, yourself. I'd even say a bit of Shitashi is like one of those players who consistently can like keep working at a goal.
I think if you're unless you're like the best in the world, there should always be somewhere higher you can look to.
Yeah.
If the goal is to keep improving.
For sure.
So, if I was like, I have to get better with the Snake, I still can like look at like MVD and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess I haven't like set too many big goals for myself, like in this game.
Yeah.
Especially early on, like, I remember like through like, I guess it would have been like at the end of like the previous PR season, like the start of this one, or something around, I think around like the start of the year, like with uni.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, like for work, I take it up at like 5 a.m. for work, and then I had classes from like 12 to 4. So I had to work in the morning and then do classes and then go to FNS, and I was like I felt like, this is kind of hard. Like if I shouldn't be too worried about
performance or
Smash and stuff. Like I shouldn't put too much weight on it, especially if I don't feel like I can put maximum effort in it. But then I think I learnt enough that I don't know. I think this doesn't just go for Smash, but I think in life I feel like when I approach things and stuff, I kind of just like make do with like what I have at the time. Yeah. Kind of like
out of your like personal reserves
just
of
like
energy.
looking at it, I feel like I should be smart enough to be able to handle what's going on now. Like,
so are you okay? So you mentioned this. And this reminds me quite a lot of Ben Gold talking about who doesn't really play the game anymore. Do you play the game, or are you sort of like conceptualizing this and being like, okay, my improvements I can make with the time that I have, and I don't necessarily need to be putting myself in the grinder and like going into the Smash labs.
Do you think, or unless you're trying to be like one of the best in the world, you don't have. I think it's more important that you're efficient with how you're improving the game rather than just playing a lot. Or it kind of depends. I think it depends on what stage you're at. Yeah. So I think people like early on, like saying like, how should I improve and stuff?
Need to go to the lab.
They kind of should just play the game more just to get a feel for it. And if there's just stuff they don't like simple, or not necessarily like simple things, but like basic knowledge, you should just know like about what moves do what, things like that. So just playing the game more. But then later on, just playing the game doesn't really improve you that much. And then like things like set analysis and like a bit of training mode, like movement and just practicing that is important. Yep. But I think you can make significant improvements without actually spending that much time in the game.
time,
So
yeah.
now at this point, I like make an effort to do like mostly on the sets I lose, like set analysis to try and improve,
Yeah,
like
see
have an
what
answer
actually
for
went
next
wrong.
time.
Yeah.
Because I find that in the sets that I lose now, it tends to be big because my opponent is doing something that I don't have an answer for,
Yeah.
and I can't like think of a really really good one at the time.
So you got to be able to look
And I
back
lose,
and be like,
yeah.
okay, what could I have actually done?
Mm.
Yeah, no, I bring up Ben because, he did mention that he thought of you as a rival in the
Yep.
Smash scene. Would you agree with that? Do you think that you guys have had a little bit of a rivalry over the years?
I think in Smash 4, kind of. I think I remember when I think I got on the PR before. I got on the PR before he did.
Oof.
So I was like the benchmark, kind of, for him to compare to.
You had the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like he got the lead, and then
You
Yeah,
sort of
back
been
and forth.
competing. And
Yeah.
now you've got the lead. Number one. It's
in
pretty
terms
good.
of Queensland, yeah.
Yeah. But
But he's got the BAM trophy.
That's pretty good.
You can just show the BAM trophy to me. I could show
He's
him
got
the
that
PR.
for a while, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I never really thought of anyone as like my rival in this game. I just
Yeah.
try and beat everyone.
Do you think rivals are good though? Do you think that they're necessarily like for some people will be like the source of motivation that they need? Do you reckon that that'll really help people? Or do you
It probably
reckon-
varies from person to person.
Yeah,
Like
of
I never
course.
really thought of like, oh, this person, my rival. I do remember like early on, like I think it was before I got on PR. It'd be like, oh, these are the people on PR I haven't beaten.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a hit list.
Yeah,
I
I
think-
think everyone who's looking to improve should at some point develop their own hit list. I think that's a really efficient way of developing things, and a lot of people who you see get to the top levels have a hit list.
Hmm.
But who was on yours when you first wrote it down?
Well, it would have been the PR before the one I was on. So at the time, there were people. I think I wasn't too like worried about beating like Jace and Jesmo
Yeah.
at the time because they were like super top. Like there was a division, but I think there were people like Nesis and Kava and stuff, which like, I had a good chance of beating.
Yeah.
And then eventually like beat them and stuff like that. So, I think it was like them, and I think there was like Seymour Butts and Flex,
Yeah.
things like that. A lot of the like earlier, but not super early, like Smash 4.
Yep. When I got on
PR.
PR, Seymour Butts was on the PR before it, and he was one of my goals. And I beat him like 4 times in the season that I made it. But he dropped like games to everybody because that was sort of when he was taking a step back.
Yeah.
So all my PR wins were useless.
Fraudulent. Yeah.
No, I think people really need to understand that.
But if a rivalry works for someone,
That's, yeah,
it
go
works.
for
I think it varies for people, but whatever works to motivate you.
Yeah,
think.
definitely. Speaking of people who are sort of taking out their own hit list and finding ways that work for them, are you scared of Spammage at all? Because I'm looking at his games thinking, I don't know anybody who has a play style who can counter this right now.
In Queensland, it's me.
You
for sure.
reckon?
Yeah, I haven't dropped a game to him. He's very.
Ooh.
I think
But I mean, you've been going for the past little bit.
Yeah, so
and
he's
he's-
been doing very well, and
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing his Fox at the Ranbat, and I was like, oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a bit scary, but I think I think Snake is probably IC's worst matchup.
Really?
So there's that going for me.
Oh,
Like to the point where like I remember this was before he was like PR level, but he was like, oh, how do I beat Snake as ICs? And I was like, I honestly don't know.
I think you need to give up.
Well, it wasn't like give up, but it was like it's not my job to know how to beat Snake as ICs. It's my job to know how to beat ICs as Snake. I'm
Yeah.
not an ICs player. I don't plan on playing them.
But even from that perspective, you're like,
I don't know.
This
I
is
don't
it.
know what I don't want.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know I don't want you to grab me. So then I do a bunch of stuff to avoid that.
but he's really good at that, Snake.
Yeah, Snake's good at. Snake's pretty good at not. Oh, if he's focused on it, he's pretty good at not getting
Yeah.
grabbed, I think.
Yeah, he's
Um,
got that versatility, like we were saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think, but like Spammage is, I think he's improved because he's almost like, he seeks almost aggressively so to learn from every set he's played.
Yeah, he does.
Especially if he loses, like he'll ask like, what have I done wrong? What can I improve upon?
Yeah.
And
And he
Yeah,
takes the
he
advice
doesn't,
seriously.
yeah, and he doesn't stop till he gets an answer.
Yeah.
So, I think that's why he's improved so fast because he seeks to learn things really, really quickly.
He's good. We got to talk about him because he got on the PR this time.
Yep,
But
number 11.
I think if we looked at his previous performance or his performance since then, he'd probably be up there.
He almost seems like top 5 based
Yeah.
on what I've seen at this point.
It's ridiculously good.
Actually, yeah, he's like hasn't he like won like the most tournaments in this season right now out of anyone? He's won like
He's got it Friday night.
he's won
He's
FNS.
got a
He's won
Gold Coast.
he's won like 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
So
close.
in terms of raw wins, just winning.
I'd say SadHour's fallen off a little bit. He's doing
He's
top
lost
3
his-
places, but he was already top 4, so it's kind of, I don't know.
Well, but after the what was it? I remember like after the Ken buffs or after that patch, like he
Yeah.
only lost to me, and then he lost to like Spammage like once, and then
Mm.
he like that was the Rambat where he lost to Spammage. He like beat everyone else and won
Yeah.
because he didn't have to play me.
I think he did well on Friday as well. No, I take that back then. He
He's on a
hasn't-
320 win streak.
Okay, so yeah, Spamage is doing really well.
Yes.
Yeah, so I take it back about Ken. I forgot he got those buffs, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, and Ryu. I saw him retweeting a little bit about Ryu. I told him I think his Ryu would be really good based on his
Ken's?
play style. No,
Spammage.
Shadru's.
Oh, Shadru. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Ken's Ryu. Shadru's Ryu.
Yeah, Shadru's, because he seems more willing to do a more patient play style, and I feel like Ken's more of a, like, just go in there and try and get as much damage as possible. But I
think,
see the way he does it, and he plays more patient with Ken and then gets a ridiculous amount of damage from
Yeah,
his patience.
I think it's probably Ken's probably overall a better character.
Yeah.
It's looking
okay.
like. So, and even though Shadru's Ryu, like, if he put the time in, would be really good, I
Yeah.
don't think it, like, gives him, like, because they're echoes of each other, so they wouldn't give each other, like,
A
massive,
straight-up
like,
advantage.
coverage
Yeah.
of, like, lots and lots of matchups.
And
So there might not be
he's
much
never
point.
really going to pick up another character, though, is he?
Oh, yeah, if it was one, it would be Ryu, but yeah, there's not much point, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely.
Or at least
fair.
it looks that way.
Rambatter's next challenge, I took a monthly, so it's the next.
Oh,
step
yeah, he
up.
won Smash by the Beach. Yep.
Yeah. So I think Spanish definitely has a opportunity to do that. But Ari as well is looking really good.
Ari's good. I found
I
him
feel
like
that's going to be a tough matchup against Ice Climbers, though. If I'm looking for the next Blaze to come up, I'm looking at Ari and Spamage, but I'm not seeing Ari take many games off Spamage, honestly, with the Ike. Because you're just looking to get into close range, and this seems really tricky.
yeah, but I don't know. Like I don't play a ton of Ike, and I hardly play any IC, so it's a bit hard for me to consider.
Okay.
But I feel like there's no reason Ike
Couldn't do it?
shouldn't be able to do it. Like he's not like invalidated or anything.
Yeah.
He might not. He might even just win the matchup slightly, maybe. I don't know. It's a bit hard to say. I guess he swings around such a big sword, so he's like separating
Zoning
them.
out. Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
Fair
Or
enough.
separating them. Yeah, Spanish says Ike is a horrible matchup. Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't know. It might be the way he's approaching it. Spamage is, since it's a losing matchup, then Spamage is putting more thought into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be fine. I remember, although like if we're just talking about Ari specifically, I do remember him being like much harder to play against the last time.
Yeah.
I think that was the FNS before the Ranbat, before I left. And I just remember him like grabbing me more.
Yeah.
And like making it hard for Snake. I ended up switching to Lucina to take 2 games.
He's one of those players that I think has a really, like, one of the best attitudes coming into Smash. He, from my experience, rarely gets tilted.
Yeah.
And has a positive attitude and, like, how can I solve this? And he adapts.
Very interested in learning.
Yeah, exactly. He adapts using that attitude really well. I think we'll cut talking about the meta for just a little bit because I want to go into the segment. Because I put a lot of work into the speed round questions because I lost the document that had all the original ones on and I rewrote them. So I want to definitely use them. I think we'll transition into that one. Ari is a great competitor. Yes.
Yes. We all agree.
All right. So if you don't know what the speed round questions are, you're going to have to answer as many as possible in a small amount of time. You have seen the other podcasts, so you should know what they're at. But you will be able to see them on the screen. So unfortunately, you're going to have to turn around.
I can't look at it.
You're not allowed to look at it. No, I have to read them to you. Your success or failure is entirely dependent on me at this point and how quickly I can read them. And I think the people at home don't get to hear them or don't get to read them either. I still have no confirmation on whether they're going to be hearing the Sonic drowning sound at home. They are. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If they don't hear or see the questions but hear Sonic drowning, then that's enough.
Okay. All right. So whenever you're ready, just give me the thumbs up, and then I think we'll move into it.
All right. So just simple questions.
Simple questions. Honestly, a lot of them are designed to trip you up because I don't want you to win. But
Okay, I won't think too hard. I'll just answer.
yeah, just answer.
Wait, what's the record?
Well, it's tricky because I think I wrote more questions for Shitashi, so it's not fair at this point.
I'll just do my best.
Yeah, do your best. We'll have to convert it into percentages and then rank you guys at some point. I think you're all at 100% though, because even when Ben didn't finish, I read out the last question because it was funny. All right, are we all ready to go, Jet? All right, we got a thumbs up. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Best Fire Emblem game.
Awakening.
Best Fire Emblem character in Smash.
Lucina.
What's worse, if the life we are living now is hell or if it's heaven?
Heaven.
What is your weapon of choice in a battle against 56-year-olds?
Gun.
Which Smash character has the most sauce?
Snake.
Banjo or Dragon Quest?
Banjo.
Next DLC character.
Leon, please.
Which Smash character are you going to fight in real life?
Olimar.
Which series gets deleted from existence? Metal Gear or Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem.
Best fast food restaurant?
McDonald's.
Oh, no KFC. Curled feetsies or exposed teethies on cats?
Exposed teethies?
What language would you learn if it wasn't Japanese?
Spanish.
Best anime right now?
No, what's it called?
Oh no, you're running out of time!
Promise Neverland.
Subbed or dubbed?
Sub.
That's it. You've run out of time.
I couldn't think of that stupid Promise Neverland.
And honestly, you know what? You shouldn't have asked about the scores because that was easily the worst one. So I threw a couple
But
of
you
these
have
ones
heard
in
of
here.
me.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
If you think you can do better, you have to get on the show first.
All right. I threw a couple of these ones in. We did have a talk about philosophy at one point. What's worse if life is living or now is hell or if it's heaven?
I've legit thought about that before.
Yes.
And yeah,
That's
it's
why I brought it up.
heaven.
And you were confused about the exposed feetsies or exposed teethies or curled feetsies. That's a cat thing.
Exposed teethies.
Yeah, you know how they curl their feet up or they've got like their teeth hanging out because they've got their mouth slightly open.
Can I change my answer?
What'd you say?
I said exposed teethies, but I thought you said exposed titties. I didn't realize you were talking about cats.
Oh, my bad. All right, and then you can see some of these other ones. We'll read them out. Let's go SadHour or Fuck Ben Gold. What's the better meme?
Fuck Ben Gold.
That's a good meme. Miserable Minute or Suicidal Second.
Miserable Minute.
And Freshest Good Meme. Don't say Area 51.
No, those are
this
bad.
point.
I still like the Chad versus Virgin meme.
Oh, that's
a good way to dunk on things you don't like.
It's definitely true. And favorite low tier to play?
Probably Incineroar. Incineroar's like a character where I just play as him and I just go, this is stupid. Just constantly.
You get your revenge of something big.
And then you do your side B, and then I add sound effects. I go, oh, his neck's broken. He's so fun to play.
Yeah,
even though I didn't even... I actually remember like before he was announced, I was like, oh, it might be Incineroar, but I think I preferred Decidueye. Like Decidueye looks like a character I would have like possibly played like competitively more.
Isn't Decidueye from Emerald though?
No, Decidueye's Sun and Moon. It's a grass starter. But like Incineroar is so ridiculously fun. I think what they do with him, even if he's bad, he's still like just stupid. I love how stupid he is.
I remember when we first saw it, Gus was like, "Isn't that like Crash Bandicoot?" And honestly, it kind of is, just by how stupid it is. Like how ridiculously dumb it all is. Yeah. Some Incineroar remains are like hella legit too, eh? I saw we've got a local plant player.
Nekima?
Yeah, no. He's not a plant player.
No, he's an Inkling player, and I hate it.
He's an Inkling player? I thought he was... Oh, no. Okay,
me sword fighter. He beat me with Inkling. That wasn't fun. But good job.
Yeah. Zanjo, that's who it is. Yeah, he's really good.
There's him. And there was a Sat at one of the Rambets, like made it a pulls and did well. I don't know if I've even seen him again, but I was pretty impressed. But yeah, no, Incineroar's cool. Yep, and I'm the best one.
Okay. I know Crimson wanted to take Incineroar seriously for a little bit, and so did Battle Dolphin. They both believed in the character for half a second.
So I don't know, maybe it's like a counter. Actually, Ellis did as well. Flex did as well. He's like,
Yeah.
I could use. I remember being like, oh, I could use Incineroar as like an anti-Pichu character. He's like, Incineroar seems like a really like anti-bully character.
And
like,
then he
they
got
can't
destroyed.
I don't think he even tried it, but he's just like, oh, he could really stop bullying. Like, I don't even know why. I think it might be because of the counter or something. It didn't really make sense, but that was like his reasoning. It's a really good like anti-bully character. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he thought he'd just kill Pichu at like -5%.
Yeah, and then just get like a side B and then destroy him off the side. Yeah, no. And then I don't know why people believe in Plant.
Scully's. I forgot to mention Scully's a cool guy.
Is he good?
He's quite good.
With the Incin?
I don't know if he plays as much Incin now. Maybe he plays more like Donkey Kong or something. I haven't seen much of him, but I saw him play like Incineroar at Gong, and it was pretty fun.
Do you believe in Plant has any potential, or is it garbage?
Not really. It's pretty bad. I remember playing. Remember playing the Plant when he first came out. I was like, how does this character approach? Like, what?
How does it do anything?
How does it do? Everything just feels like a gimmick.
Yes. Everything feels like a smash side move. You know?
You get hit once, and you're like, oh, okay. You feel like an idiot. And the Plant really has the power of the onus being on the other guy to win because it's a Plant.
It's got the Ganon effect, I think, where the character's not great. It definitely has a couple of things. Like when it's got its game going.
Yeah, the damage output it can do sometimes is really good because of like the neutral B is actually quite good.
But probably 40% of its game comes down to you don't want to lose against a Plant. And that might make you play worse.
Yeah.
That might make you get intimidated. No, I definitely see that. And you love cats as well. That's why I put that question in there.
Yep. I love dogs as well.
Really?
Yeah, I love a dog.
Oh, okay.
But I'd probably lean slightly more.
I was going to put cats and dogs on, but I thought for 100% you were a cat person.
Yeah. Yeah, between the two, I'd probably say cat person.
Yeah.
Because they're about as lazy as I am. But, like, I love dogs as well. I just like animals.
Animals are sick. You got any other animals? Dog, cat, that it?
Oh, we've got chickens. We got really? Okay, so our family has lots of animals.
Okay.
Right, so we've got 4 cats. We have a dog.
Yeah.
We've got turtles.
Turtles? I've never seen these. I've been to your house like twice though. So
yeah. Oh, they're in a little pond in the backyard. We have chickens. Fish. There's fish there. Yeah, lots of animals.
Yeah, no, I've only got the 2 cats. I love animals too, though. You got no birds besides chickens, though? You got no parrots or anything like that?
Oh, I remember having like budgies when I was really, really little.
Budgies are sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty
much. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, we used to have crayfish at one point.
Fish.
Crayfish.
All right. We're going to go for a bit of a break. Just so that we can get our heads moving on this little icon here again. And for all of you lovelies to go grab some food. I had some popcorn today. It's honestly the best food to eat while you're looking at something. So definitely maybe go grab some popcorn. Don't wake anybody up if they're already asleep, though. It's only 8:30, so you shouldn't worry about that. And yeah, we'll catch you back in a couple minutes. Jed will set the timer, but who knows if we'll stick to that. All right. See you guys in a little bit. Hello, everyone. We're back.
We're back.
The stream has been rescued.
Our heads are shaking. The head thing is shaking.
Yeah, we're shaking
before.
on the screen. I was looking at your head in real life then just to make sure that yours was okay. But no, we're all back and we've got our plans set to go forwards. We want to explain this image, I think, first off, because that's always fun. And I know that you have an assortment of images that you probably might not be well equipped to explain. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I want to see them. And then we'll move into Twitter questions and finally Twitch questions. So if you're here for the Twitch questions, stay around.
Stay here.
But if you really have to go, come back in about maybe 30 minutes. And then if you've missed your turn, suck it up. All right. Ready? Let's get into Explain This Image. I am no longer singing Explain This Image because I could never make the tune work. But let's go to the first one. Okay, so for those of you who are listening and have no
not
visuals, this is you next to Reptile World. You're on one leg. There's a giant snake biting the top of the Reptile World, and you're doing a Marge Crump.
No, it's actually me perfectly replicating snakes up tilt in real life.
Okay. So explain that. What's the context of this? Where are you? How'd you get here?
Wait,
and
people
why
are saying they
doing
can't
uphill?
see it. Are we able to make the? Do you know if we make the image bigger or?
Oh, is it too small, or you just can't see it
It's
at all?
kind of. I'm even in the picture itself. I'm pretty small.
Are you ants, or is it not there at all? Is that the...
It's hard to see because it's small.
Oh, and 160p. Yeah, very small. Okay. Nah, just look closer.
Enhance. Computer, enhance.
Enhance. It's always been too small, Skrell. Get over it. All right? Just
Anyway.
look. Just get real get real close to your computer screen. I'm sorry. I don't think we've got any enhancing tools.
Technology.
But it doesn't matter, because you're going to explain it anyway.
How are we going to explain it anyway? We've described what's happening in the picture. So this was on the road trip to Wollongong for Expandgong 4, which was this year. And we stopped off at the big pineapple. Not the big pineapple, big banana.
All right.
As you do.
There's a bunch of big fruits around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Everywhere.
I remember we got a chocolate banana thing. Someone started eating it. They got sick. Oh, no, they didn't get sick. They couldn't finish it. Then I started eating it. Then I started feeling kind of sick. I can't eat like too much chocolate or else I just don't feel well. It doesn't stop me, but I shouldn't. But there's me trying to do snakes up tilt. There's multiple frames. Other one of me like going through it, like doing stretches and stuff before doing it. Because there's at Big Banana, there's actually lots of stuff. Like there's a reptile world. So I remember seeing the snake. I was like, oh my god, snake fam! I'll do the up tilt. And there was actually a guy like doing like construction or some kind of like work before, and I think he wanted to like go in. So I was just standing there in the way trying to up tilt. I was like, oh excuse me, I just need to take a photo. And
then
it was hard to explain. I was like, I really like snakes. And then I started kicking in the air. So we looked a bit puzzled, but I was doing that. Yeah, so what I found is, I've actually discussed this as well with other people like Jesmo and stuff. Like, is it possible to do in real life to stretch? It's not. I think it might be these damn hamstrings. I don't.
Even if it's possible, right? If you're a gymnast and some sort of physical brute who's able to make it work, is it really going to be that powerful? Can he launch you into the...
Can you launch you into the stratosphere by kicking directly in the air?
Never.
Probably
or
not.
even,
and would you... Then there's other things. Would you be able to have a lingering hitbox on your leg? Probably not.
If you got the thighs for it, maybe. If you just like like the force of you tensing creates a force field, maybe.
Yeah. Well, when Snake does it during the animation, he kind of like pushes his leg up. It's the force of it's like the force of both legs, like kicking at once, basically, because he's pushing his other leg as well. It's like you see him on his like tippy toes.
So that actually might be pretty dangerous.
So it's why I theoretically, if you could do it, then it might actually be quite strong because it's the force of two kicks at once directly in there. So that's you're chin checking someone with both of your legs at once, basically.
I kind of want to be hit by it now just to see. Yeah, that does actually.
That's how I want to die.
Knock me out cold.
Yeah, and it does have Thank you, Jado. It does have a dick hitbox.
Have you played Metal Gear?
I've played through MGS 1 and through most of MGS 5.
Okay.
So I've like bookended the series. I need to play more MGS.
So you've got a little... Maybe that's why. If you play all the series, maybe you unlock that as the final.
That's your ability.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next one. I think we've explained that one. There's not much more to explain, really, on that one. Snakes. I thought you were up-tilting K-Rool originally.
That would be Carol's down tilt. Carol's up tilt's the punch. His down tilt's the stomp.
Yeah, the stomp. Which kind of looked like that. Anyway.
It did.
Explain this image.
But it was... this one. Okay, so this was...
Talking about what is on the screen
explain
right
the
now.
image.
Yeah. So this is you with long hair for starters. It looks like you are completely miserable on a black chair at what looks to be old Friday Night Smash venue. And your head in hands... I
look defeated.
Yeah.
Look sobbing.
Desolate mentality. Destroyed.
Okay, so I can give context to this picture. So this is from a while... this be like... well, this was Smash 4 days, we know that. This was back when we did the FNS Saturday specials.
Oh, yep.
So
Was this? Oh,
these were like themed tournaments
Yeah.
that Big Trouble did that he TO'd. So and he wanted to make them like saga like things, like the
Yep.
like the 2GG style things, and he basically wanted to make them like themed after like the player and an anime.
yeah.
So mine was SadHour Genesis, which was like
Yeah.
Neon Genesis Evangelion, like
Very
SadHour.
cool.
So I was like, oh, I haven't seen that show, but I know like the memes. So I did the Shinji, Shinji's
Yeah,
like the frame where he's like curled over the chair, like looking all depressed and distraught. So I still haven't actually seen like the show
I watched
to
it.
this day.
I was hoping you would be able to explain it to me, honestly, but
I don't know the context of it, but I know it's a very like people get depressed show.
it's on Netflix.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I would have watched it like then and there on Netflix if I didn't hear about like them messing up the dub and just changing things.
Just watch on the subbed. I heard the subbed was.
I think
Not changed.
I'd watch it subbed anyway, but I don't know. I just heard like they messed stuff up and they got rid of
Okay.
like Moon River's not at the end and stuff. I think I'll just watch it anyway because it'll still be like
Yeah.
I'll still get it.
Someone confirmed.
And then
what the
the end
experience
of
is like with
Evangelion's
Tournameta.
on there as well, so I think I can get most of it because I think there's like other movies as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit confusing.
I haven't seen the movies. Honestly, I was very confused at the end of it, and I don't know if I want to watch the movies because it's an investment. You get really drawn into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have time. I should have time to. I think
What-
I'll watch Stranger Things and then watch that. That's the plan.
Yeah. Well, you got to finish Dreamland or whatever it is.
What?
The new one that you said is the fresh.
Promised Neverland. I
That's
finished
it.
watching that.
Oh, you already finished it.
Yeah, it was
Ah,
only like 12 episodes. Actually, no. Yeah, it was like 12 episodes.
Right.
It's pretty easy to watch the whole thing in one go.
Do you watch My Hero Academia?
I've seen the first season, and I
Okay.
liked it. And I think I started watching the second season, and it didn't grab me like straight away.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll watch something else. And I think we watched. I can't remember what I watched, but I watched something else.
Well, the third one's coming out. I'm really excited for it. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll go to the next Explain This Image.
Yep.
Jet is moving his hand,
For
so I
the-
know there's a third one. All right. Not doing the tune anymore.
Oh, this one. This
Alright.
one's from.
I'm
Okay,
having
what's
to
it?
get close so I can explain this. What are you? Sideways on the ground? What is that on in
What?
the
That's not the
background? What is that?
No,
It looks
okay,
like a
I'm-
table? What is that?
I'll tell what's
Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah,
image
you
first.
tell me
So
what's in the
I'm
image 'cause I
standing.
can't understand
I'm
it.
standing holding a plastic plate with 2 forks in it. My water bottle. There's a chocolate cake. I'm looking at a spin the wheel, like a wheel of fortune,
Oh, okay.
fortune thing. I'm holding 2 backpacks. So this was from Newcastle Siege. Yeah, Newcastle Siege last year. I can't even remember exactly when this was. This was probably either. Well, first off, I didn't make it. I drowned in pools of that thing. I was like a game
Rough.
off getting into top. I think it was only top 16 or something. I don't know, but didn't make it out. And who was it? Oh, I forgot who took the picture. I talked to him a bunch, and he was a cool guy. I'm gonna try and have that running in the back of my head
Yeah.
to think of it. But basically Ben like gave me his like chocolate cake, and I was like, oh, I don't want this. He gave me the whole thing and the fork, and I was like, okay, I'll hold this. And I think I was just standing there confused with the chocolate cake, looking at the wheel of fortune. And Newcastle, it's like this. You like spin the wheel, and there's like different prizes
Yeah.
for
Were
like
you
different.
just spinning it over and over again? Or you just
No,
looking
I don't
at
think
what
I
you
was.
could've-
I don't think you're allowed to spin it. If you, oh, actually, no. I think I could have spun it if I wanted to.
Yeah,
but I
maybe a
didn't.
little
My
bit.
hands were full though.
Yeah, as
And
we could
I
see.
had a confused expression, and his Twitter at's like, can I look it up?
Yeah.
His Twitter at's like sweet on sweet. It's he played like Mewtwo and Ike, and then I think he took the photo, but then ended up beating him in either pools or pro bracket. But he was a cool guy. We talked about music a bunch afterwards.
He deserves the shout out then that
Yes.
you're going to be giving him. Find yourself a partner who can snake up tilt. Yeah, definitely. I feel like if you can find a woman who can do that, your problems are solved.
You're in good hands.
You're in good
And
feet.
more importantly, good legs.
Yes. I went in a medical test because I did an ADF assessment and they had to stretch my legs.
He's
She
a
also saw
Newcastle
my
player.
wing.
Oh my god, I feel
Oh, you
horrible
couldn't
for
even
him.
find him? Oh my god.
I know his Twitter. It's like Sweet on sweet.
Well, honestly, he's not watching the podcast, so I can't say that. He might be watching this post.
No, he would have. He would have.
After the podcast has been concluded.
It's like a food. I can't remember. But he's a cool guy. We talked about music. And he showed me a bunch of albums to listen to at the after party.
Yeah.
The after party for Newcastle was kind of funny as well. I very distinctly remember, like, I think we were having lots of alcohol, so I was like, oh, I should drink more water. But I want to drink more water if I eat something like salty. So I tried to get like Cheetos from the vending machine, and I did the thing where it like doesn't come out.
Oh.
It's hanging there, like, so I ended up getting 2 Cheetos. I just got another one to solve the problem, and I had 2 bags
What
of
an
Cheetos.
ingenious play.
So smart. You can solve a lot of problems just by having more.
Me, I'd just be
Cheetos.
banging the thing trying to tip it.
Well, I think
I'm the one,
I
I'm
think
the one
at
who locks it down for the next week because I've smashed it.
He's broken the glass.
Yeah, exactly.
You were the one who made it out of order.
Yeah.
But yeah, he took the photo, and then I like beat him, and then we talked. And then we talked at the after party about
What kind of music did you like?
Oh, music. Ooh. I do try to listen to new stuff like all the time.
Yeah.
What
What are you listening to at the moment? Then?
Oh, at the moment. I'm always down for Radiohead.
Right.
I love some Radiohead. I love Daft Punk.
Yes.
A lot of like the moo-core kind of
You've
stuff.
been listening to the new Daft Punk, or do you listen to the classics?
Discovery is my favorite album.
Because I tell people, like, if you're going to listen to one, I think it's not, is it Discovery?
I think Discovery is
That's the one with, like, everyone is a classic, right?
pretty much.
Yeah, every song's a banger.
Let's see. My favorite album ever, if I had to say, is one called did Finn just say moo-core? Yes. That, like, it's it's hard to explain, but that's like the title for that kind of music. So
What's
there's like,
Moo-core?
so
Explain it for people.
you know 4chan, like
Yes.
the music boards. It's like that.
Oh,
and
no.
I know, right? It's stupid, but it's actually, it was actually fairly useful to find more music.
Yeah,
It's like people, do you know 4chan? The infamous hacker. Yeah, but it was helpful. Like, you don't even, like, you could just probably just look up moo-core and you get like charts of like different kind of music.
Right.
And it's just like weird. Yeah, Boing Boing's on it. Animal Collective, Kanye's in there. Radio's heads in there. Neutral Milk is in there. Anyway, so I was gonna say my favorite album is one called Death Consciousness by Have a Nice Life. It's like sorry, just the comments are throwing me off.
No, don't read them.
I gotta ignore it.
They don't know what I'm talking
It's
about.
like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's very, very dark music. Quite depressing, like on a philosophical level, I think. But yeah, there's that kind of stuff. Oh,
Okay.
there's so much music I could
Yeah.
talk about, but yeah, I think
We'll have to give that the recommendation so people can actually listen to it. I haven't heard of it,
yeah,
but I
really good.
exclusively listen to just lo-fi hip-hop these days because I can't.
It's easy
Yeah, it's just so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. I'll do something and then just have that in the background. Anyway, that was the end of our images. I'm slightly disappointed we didn't have the image of you with the sunnies and the two $50 notes in either one.
Oh yeah, I was into doing that for a while, just
Yeah.
after winning a tournament, just having the
put-
sunglasses with the money. I think it gets kind of hard to do if there's too much money.
Oh my god! Yeah, of course. Yeah, but regardless, that's the end of the segment of explain this image because we have no more images, unless. No, that's the end. All right, I've been given the shake. So that means for all of you Twitter aficionados who can actually come up with a good question that'll last the week, we're going to be moving on to Twitter questions. So Jet will be bringing that one up. If you're wondering how to get your Twitter question on the next Tournameta podcast, just hit ask.
Go
for-
on Twitter.
Yeah, just go on Twitter. What are you doing? I've been on fire on Twitter lately. Every post has been a god post. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Tournameta on Twitter. And follow SadHour on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
At SadHour64. Capital S, capital H.
What's
no
the
spaces.
64 for?
Nintendo 64.
Were you a big Nintendo 64 fan?
It's my first console,
Right.
and it's easy to remember.
I'll
First console I played on.
I don't know. There's something about the first console connection that a lot of people have, eh? 64. Mine was
That's what they
PlayStation
remember.
1.
Oh, here's this Twitter quiz.
Here we go. So, we're going by likes because
I see.
we live in an unfair society, and not every question is treated equal. Though I'm not, I don't want to go too much. Anyways, if Lucina was ugly, would you still play her?
Well, she's kind of flat. I still play her.
Wait. So,
and I still play her. So
you already believe her to be not of the SadHour standard of what you require for an attractive woman. Is that what you're saying?
No, I just remember reading this earlier. I thought that would be funny to say.
Okay.
No, she's pretty from the neck up. So I think.
Jesus Christ! All right, yeah.
But yeah, she was ugly. Look, I don't think people play Lucina because she's fun. Or she's pretty. They play her because she's good.
She's good.
But I still find Marth
You've
more fun.
offended, honestly, I think like half of the Lucina players. I knew so many Lucina players in Smash 4 who was like, Lucina waifu, I will make her into reality with 3D printing and I will marry her. And you're like, nah, she's got a face.
She's a boy.
She's a boy. She has a face.
No, she's a boy.
Oh, right.
I don't know. I remember when the game first came out, Ultimate, I was like, oh, this character's so boring, but she's so good. And I'm good at her.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she's pretty. I don't think you need...
She's pretty.
Boobies.
Yeah, she's pretty. So, but if she was ugly, I'd probably still play her because she's good, and I'm good with her.
Okay.
And she covers Snake's bad matchups fairly nicely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if she was ugly as hell, if she was like the witch from...
She was like
Banjo.
Gruntilda.
Yeah, you would still play her.
Yeah, because then we'd have 2 Banjo reps in Smash. That'd be sick.
And then also you'd be like, Gruntilda thick. She's nice. Anyway.
Pretty Gruntilda.
Okay.
That's her final Smash.
If you had to... Cap stands for flat women. Sure. If you had to retire from playing right now, what do you think your legacy would be?
I think it would be like really good in Queensland.
Mittens, by the way, yeah.
Really good in Queensland, but bad out of state. Like not as good out of state.
That's
as
something
I should be.
You definitely have to prove. Yeah, and I think most of Queensland has faith in you. I feel like you've got the potential for it. It's only a matter of time, really, once you start making those trips.
Yeah, hopefully I can go out more. I want to.
Or maybe not.
Well, I don't. I'd like to go out more, but like I try to prioritize uni stuff. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's just things in the game I still need to figure out. I think making those like super fast adaptations is a skill that's hard to learn, and you kind of just need to like travel more and play lots and lots of good people.
Would you take a sponsorship and then travel more?
Well, that still doesn't like solve the issue of like uni being in the way. Because like for BAM, because of the path to Evo thing, I had the most like points for it.
Yeah, but
I could have gone to BAM for free, but I prioritized uni stuff over it.
Yeah.
So
I know for some people they see that, they see like what time BAM is going to be, and so early on they just go, well, I'm unlikely to be able to do that.
That was kind of me as well.
Yeah.
Especially after Gong, like I put stuff, I've made it like a bit harder for me at uni to go to Gong, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to do that again. Like I might have been able to do it for BAM.
Yeah.
But like I looked at my uni results, and like some things I like only just passed. I was like, yeah, probably good. I didn't go to BAM, and Ben won it. I didn't want to like mess with that timeline of Ben winning BAM.
Because we all know Queenslanders get set up against each other in the state brackets all the time.
Rigged.
It's rigged.
The what is it? The Smash Senate?
Yeah.
They've
got a plan against us.
They're all devil worshippers.
I think we mean the Smash Illuminati.
Yeah.
The plotters against us.
They hate Queenslanders.
They're all part of the Rockefeller family. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next question. If Snake was at your front door and he asked you to let him in, would you? From Trunkle.
Yes, because if I said no, he'd find a way in anyway, because that's like his job. He's good at doing that.
I'd 100% deny him. Because A, you get to see him do it. Like, you say no, and then you turn around and he's already there. And B, if he's asking, I'm immediately very afraid. And I want as much time as possible to try and find some sort of safety. He's a scary man. Why does he have to do anything to do with me?
Maybe he wants to be friends.
He just wants to be friends. He wants to come over. That'd be nice.
Yeah, he needs somewhere to park his Ford Focus.
What?
Haven't you seen the ad?
No!
There's like an ad where him and the colonel are talking about forward focus, and he's like, the forward focus is something you need to drive around Shadow Moses Island. He's like, the forward focus.
I've never. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I need to see that now. Oh my god. What's your blood type? Does your family have a history of kidney disease? And would you like to come camping with me? From Weeb. Technically 3 questions, and 2 of them kind of strange to ask. I don't want to read too much into it, but maybe you understand what this meme is coming from.
I don't know. I don't know. And yes. Because the snake players love camping. Love a good camp. Yeah, we're gonna.
And he's
camping.
a bit of a snake player. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think we need a little bit of a follow up
good
about the
camping
blood type and the kidney disease that I don't quite understand.
We'll have a post. There'll be a epilogue.
Are you a Dragon Ball Z fan?
Not really. Oh, what's your favorite Dragon Ball Z arc? I saw the Broly movie and I really liked it, so I'd say that.
Right. So I've never seen any of the Dragon Ball Zs. Would I be able to watch that and understand what's going on?
Yep.
A little bit of an ad for
You'd be able to enjoy the fights.
Sick. Wildemold. Number 1. 2 questions again. Come on, guys. Put 2 down if you're going to put 2 down, right? 2 comments. Or you just keep doing what you're doing. It's not like I can stop you. What do you think is the ideal way to practice? And number 2, how does one actually play Robin? I have tried, and I still do not understand.
For the first one, like I said before, set analysis. Like I said before, it probably depends on what level you're at.
Yeah.
I think so. So if you've barely played the game, then just playing the game more is helpful.
Yeah.
But for me, I think practicing things that I don't want to mess up in brackets. So for Snake, that'd be the grenade stuff, like B reverses, all the trickery. I don't really do it much for ledge trumping, just things like that you don't want to mess up in bracket.
I think Extra did a nice video about you want to understand how your character moves as well while you're in training mode. Just get that down. Understand how many moves you can put out in the air, what it feels like to fast
actual
full
hopping and
exactly.
full hopping. Yep. What auto cancels, what doesn't. Just just understand. Make it muscle memory.
Yeah. And then
so then you don't have to look at your character as much when you're playing. You can look at your opponent, what they're doing, the space between you, all that.
To summarize what I think a lot of what you and Shitashi and Ben have been saying when you talk about when you get to this stage of how you guys improve is to understand or to learn the best recognition tools, to be okay, this is what's going on in the matchup, and then find out ways to improve on that. You can't play friendlies when you're at a certain level or casuals or tournament matches and just turn your brain off and try and win all the time. You have to be able to train yourself to have the proper learning habits. Especially,
if they're as good or better than you, or even or just hard, then you need to be able to be thinking, not just autopiloting during the thing and asking yourself why did I get hit by this?
Yeah.
Things like that. Being able to come up with answers for things quickly, because that's what the best players in the world thing is. They have answers for things instantaneously.
Yeah. And then in Queensland, probably train your patience as well, I would add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be patient. That doesn't mean camp. It just means that I guess there's a difference between really forcing openings, overextending or overcommitting.
Yeah.
Or there's a difference between making openings for yourself and overextending.
Yeah.
And that varies from character to character and between different matchups and stuff.
Yep.
So I can't say exactly for you what you have to do to force openings.
I think it's more about understanding what you need to do in the neutral, what your goals are in the neutral, instead of
and that changes for characters.
Yeah.
What's their goal at different points in the game? That's something you should try to understand.
Yeah.
Different things. So for yourself and your opponent, I think that always helps me simplify different parts of the game for me. So for example, against let's say Olimar, so at the low percent, the thing he probably wants the most is an up smash.
Yeah.
Because that leads to the most damage. So you should play to avoid up smash. So that could be you don't want to jump into him, you don't want to be up super close to him. If you can use moves on the ground to stuff out him getting close to you. So for example, if I'm Lucina, Lucina's down tilt, thoroughly outranges it. And then like later on, like depending on the percents, what he wants could change. So at higher percents, he'll want to grab you with the blue pigment. So then you want to play to avoid that. So that could be by like jumping around a lot or looking at which pigment he has.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So yeah, practicing by looking at doing set analysis.
Yeah.
Making sure you're moving correctly and trying to like understand what people want when they're
objectives.
Playing. Yeah. Objectives is important.
All right. Hopefully that helps. And how does one actually play Robin? I still don't understand.
I don't really play Robin in this game, so I can't really say for sure because, like I was talking about before, at different points in the game, her objective is different now than what it was in Smash 4.
You say her.
Him or her.
Yeah. But didn't you play the
I
male
played the male
version?
Robin, but people seem to prefer the female, so I'll go with her.
She's cuter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I can't really say. I don't like because like Arc Thunder's not really a thing you get confirms off now as much, and
it's
Checkmate's
more
gone.
On, side B now, isn't it?
Side B seems to be more consistent when it hits now. So I can't really say. Probably just spam projectiles a lot until you can kill them with 11 sword aerial.
Yep.
Yep, and try to recover smart because it's bad.
I've actually got a really good tip for Robin players. It's pretty easy. What you want to do is you want to press the start button and then quit out and pick a different character.
go to Lucina.
Go to Lucina or
Snake.
Or Snake.
Snake is a bit like Robin.
Yeah?
Snake's checkmate is down throw up tilde at 160.
Okay, there you go. Anyways, let's go on to the next question. Thanks for that one, Wildermold. This one's got 6, but it's got some pictures from Churopon. He's in the chat right now. Say hi. Are you pissed, like me, that there are no masked Marth, Yukata, or Summer alts? Did I say that one right?
Lucina. Summer?
Yes.
Didn't think about it much before, but they'd be kind of cool. I do think this reminded me of an idea I've had before. If characters could change how they look in the game with their taunts. So, for example, one of Lucina's taunts is to put on her the Marth mask.
Yeah.
I thought, what if that stayed on? And then if she did the taunt again, she takes it off.
That would be sick.
Other characters who could do stuff like that, like Mario, one of them he takes off his hat. So what if the hat just stayed off? And you did the taunt again, he puts it back on. What if you did that?
Kirby, one of Kirby's taunts gets rid of his neutral.
All of his taunt. Isn't it all of it?
Oh, I
think all of them can. So you can't taunt if you've got their copy ability.
Yeah.
But yeah, those would be cool. I kind of wish some characters had more alts in the game.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, I feel like taunts are something that's really undercapitalized on by the Smash team. I think you just look at PM and then like you see that they use
There's all these
taunts,
wacky ones.
Yeah, that actually get used in their gameplay, which is...
Seen how like Lucas actually trips when he does one of his taunts?
Yeah.
And I've seen people actually use that to like edge guard because the get up attack is like just the hitbox they need.
Snake's got the hitbox on his taunt, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure... How does Ganon do the float? Isn't that a taunt? No.
No, that's
just regular.
I think it works
float.
like Peach's float.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe. I'm not an expert.
Yeah, we don't play much PM, obviously. Let's move on to the next question. But I love your idea. Maybe she has a taunt where she starts taking off some of her clothes, and then that's how she gets into the summer ult. Who knows? But yeah, no, it's a good idea.
Maybe.
What else we got? What do you see others doing wrong on Lucina? Any advice on Lucina that you can give out? I'm pretty sure Nagima said that his Lucina was like a 9 out of 10 if your Lucina was a 10. So Nagima thinks his Lucina is really.
He's trying to pick her up. I haven't seen a whole lot of other Lucinas. I remember seeing a bit of Joz's, and he's quite good. But I think it might be like people like overextending or like overcommitting when they shouldn't, and then alternatively on the other hand, not taking advantage of opportunities when they have them.
Right.
So it's like swinging when they shouldn't be, and then not swinging when they should be. So like recognizing scenarios.
Yeah.
More. So, what else? If you want to improve with Lucina, I think Izor's video is quite good. His videos are just good in general.
Yeah,
like they're good at going over like their overall game plan and their objectives, and then what each individual move is useful for.
Right.
So, like and then What else? I think they should make their game plan, or at least when I play Lucina, the game plan's mostly about keeping people in the corner.
Okay.
And then like using her moves for like identification. So she's got lots of safe moves like neutral air, space forward air, and down tilt.
Yeah.
For identification. So you'd be like, what do they do when they do this? Or like, what are they doing? So that's what I mean by identification. And then conditioning. So you can get them to use those moves without putting yourself in a bad spot. Like, figure out what your opponent's doing and also getting them to do what you want.
Yeah.
And then putting yourself in a position where you can really like pressure them and cover all their options.
So moves that don't reap like a huge amount of reward, but have a level of safety to them that sort of...
Yeah.
You can
well, they still can be like landing a neutral air at 0% is pretty rewarding because that's like either another neutral air or dancing blade or something.
But the use of the tool comes out from what they do after it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Righto.
So I think
that's actually really good.
Playing
advice.
safe and trying to wall them out and keep them in the corner and then maintain that.
I think a lot of people who play Lucina and do initially well have good spacing and are able to use the hitboxes quite well, and that's why they start playing them more. But the depth of the character, I think, is what you're saying, is where it starts to be able to recognize small patterns and also have more of an objective of keeping them in the corner.
Yeah, because like if you see someone like Leo play something, like when they're playing well, the other guy's not playing.
Yeah,
they're not allowed to play. They're just in the corner.
Jeez, Leo. We did talk a little bit. Leo is an unreal good player. Yeah, you'd say probably watch.
Oh,
when's the last time you played Lucina?
Might have been a bit after Joker came out.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? Poppet 1 from Perth. His videos, the two he's only done like 2 so far, but they're both really really good.
Okay.
You can almost he's like a teacher outside of Smash. So you can almost tell like he's so good at explaining things and then like summarizing it at the end. That video about him, the first one where he talked about Leo. Yeah. Like I think that really really changed the way I approached the game. It really made me think about like space and keeping people in the corner.
Right.
And then
no, that sounds really helpful. I think we'll have to have a look at that one. I'm interested now. So interested, in fact. I think we've had the Twitter questions taken away from us. So sorry if yours didn't get read out. If you did have them, I know that SadHour said that he would answer them after the interview. Which YouTuber is this? This is a player, Poppet. He's from Western Australia, if you need further. Yeah. But we'll move on to the next section, which is Ganon's Advocate. We did a little bit of that one in the last segment, last episode. But unfortunately, Shitashi already agreed with one of the subjects I wanted him to argue, but that was supposed to be a challenge. We already discussed it. I think I avoided some of the topics that we talked about, but if Jet wants to slide them onto the screen for us.
Okay.
Because I don't remember.
I'm ready.
Ganon's Advocate.
Ganon's Advocate.
Don't. Wait, what's the Ganon tune? I don't even know. I was going to do Jaws.
What's it? Dun, 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 or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
this is your Word document. All right.
There's Ganon's Advocate down there.
Yeah.
So I have to So argue for things I supposedly normally wouldn't.
Yeah. So some of them are ones that you wouldn't. Some of them are ones that you would. And some of them are sort of in between. The first one is Snake is the best character in the game. So that's what you're going to have to argue. And I'll poke a couple of holes in it. But you have to believe it and then argue it.
Snake is the best character in the game.
Okay. You ready? Who's the best character in the game?
It's Snake.
Why?
Obviously.
Why would you say that, though, when there are lots of characters doing better in tournament?
Like who?
MK Leo plays exclusively Joker.
Oh, that's just
wipes
Leo,
the floor
though.
with what do you mean that's just Leo?
If Leo played any character, would be the best.
Including Snake?
Yeah, then he wouldn't lose a stock.
Why does
it's that broken.
Why does he play Snake then?
Oh, because he doesn't have a sword.
Oh, right. He only plays the sword characters. But, I mean, Ally is dropping out of the tournament now. So now we only have MVD as one of the representatives for Snake. If you count the amount of players...
So Snake's... We're saying... This might be a bit risque, but Snake's only losing matchup is if the player is a pedophile. That's the only way you can lose is if you get banned.
Okay. But... Some
Case closed.
Some characters... Oh, man, I don't even know. Okay. Lots of players play Snake, but there are very few players who play at the tippy top level, and Ally was the only one, and now he's...
What? There's MVD in Salem as well.
MVD and Salem, but they're not at the tippy top, I would say, if you compare the players who are over there. Do you reckon that that's a symbol that he's good at a certain level, but once you get to the top level, he doesn't have what it takes?
Well, the thing is, the absolute best players in the world,
Yeah.
the absolute best, don't play him.
Okay.
So I don't think that's because they don't think he's good, but I think they just don't think it suits their play style.
Right.
So like I said before, Leo only plays swordies. Snake doesn't have a sword.
Don't you think the Buzz would play Snake? Or is he too manly?
It might be too manly for him. I think so. The Buzz kind of seems to lean towards either waifu characters or Olimar.
Well, he wanted the Belmont characters in. That was his character, and he played them a little bit when they first came out until he decided he didn't like them a lot.
They're not great.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't play the... What was I going to say? So the Buzz doesn't play them. Neither does Mars. I think Mars kind of just is sort of tied to Zero Suit. Even though, actually, no, Mars does play a bit of Snake.
Okay.
Mars won a local with Snake.
But
so
does he play it seriously?
I think maybe he plays them to maybe he played it to
learn
consider picking them up.
okay.
Because a good way to understand how to beat a character. Because he's lost to MVD and Ally.
So it's just, okay.
To understand them better. So...
I think we could say Snake is the best, bar being a pedophile. I think we'll move on to that. There's no way we could beat that. So let's move on to the second topic.
That's his only losing matchup.
QLD is secretly
the best region in Australia. Ben's won a major. Ben's won literally the biggest major in the Southern Hemisphere.
And then
he's only second in Queensland.
Just imagine if you went. Yeah.
Yeah, good thing I didn't, hey. Or else another lame Snake, best character in the game, would win a major instead of cool Chad Carroll, the croc.
Yeah, fair.
So there's that.
He didn't do so well at Big Wheel. At Big Win.
He still got ninth. Him and Chitashi both got ninth. Some of our best players aren't even that active.
Yeah.
Lumi's doesn't get to go too much. Jace is
out of the game
just
a little bit.
Lurking right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully he comes back. I think he's really good. I have a lot of respect for him as a player, so I'd like him to come back. Same with Jesmo.
Do you think if these players actually went though that they would be able to do well? Do you think that there's a separation between...
I think they can and have.
Yeah?
Well, not Jason Ultimate. So Lumi came... What was it? Lumi came 7th.
Yeah, he did so well at Gong. Yeah.
It was really good. He only lost...
he
lost to Cosmos and Kitaro.
Yeah.
So...
And Kitaro was close.
Kitaro was last hit.
Do you think it's more about these players need to get interstate experience and then they'll start whipping everybody else? Or do you think that there's a gap, and as much as these other top players from Victoria are going to start getting more experience, that the Queensland players are going to start having to chase that gap?
Wait, so I've got to argue Queensland's the best.
Yes.
Secretly the best. I think the more experience we get, the more in favour of us.
Okay.
It's going to be. I think there'll be a fair few, because of all these up and coming players, or PR gatekeeper level kind of players. I think there'll be a fair few number of upsets at Sunny Side Up.
Yeah. Well, it's our final. That's our first real. I mean, we had UQ Final Destination, but
we had FD 1 and 2, but they didn't get that much.
First ultimate major.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
So you reckon we'll do well in that?
Yeah, I think.
Do you really reckon that, or do you reckon that as a Gannon's advocate?
Do I step outside of Gannon's advocate?
Yeah, step outside for a second. Do you think that we'll?
Okay, well,
win
I think you have an advantage in your own state as a top player, and as a PR level, top 5, whatever, in your state.
Yeah.
Because you have the advantage of whatever mid or high level player in your state, you're more likely to beat because you've got a better understanding of them. You know how to beat them. It tends to be a bit simpler, right?
Yeah.
If you have a solid game plan, it just works.
And then you've got
whereas the out of staters don't have that advantage, so they may just not know what to do on the day in a best of 3 set, and then just go into losers.
I think what is really underrated is when players travel interstate, you can get upset by somebody who's like a gatekeeper to the top 10.
Yeah.
And that you have no idea how they are or who they play. But if you talk
Yeah.
to anyone, they'll be
Or
like...
you might not have heard
Yeah.
that much of them.
And if you talk to any of the top players, they go, yeah, they're pretty good. But
Yeah.
they've had time to be able to figure it out.
Yeah. Like, I
It's-
remember
Yeah.
like Spangong last year. I lost to, like... Was it last year? Yeah, I lost to SKG in pools.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's pretty good. And then I talked to Extra about it, and Extra was like, yeah, he kind of gives me a bit of trouble sometimes. Like, that kind of thing. Like, where they're kind of like... They're good, but they've sort of figured it out. And you know, if you haven't played them before, you didn't have that time. So... You know, a lot of the time I think, oh, if I played them again, I'd probably beat them. But, you know, it's that first time. And since it's like Queensland's like first big major,
Yep.
It will be the first time for a lot of them.
It reminds me of SadHour. Whenever SadHour goes interstate, for a while, nobody knew him.
Yeah.
And so he would be able to take names because it was like, who's this guy who plays randoms? And he's a kid.
Yeah.
But ended up being a god, still is a god. Next one, final topic. The current QLDPR is completely inaccurate. That includes all placings.
So can I look at it? Can I get a visual on the...
Jet's going to masterclass this one.
So I can see how every single one is wrong?
Yes. You have to reorder them in the right order. Okay. Based on the results or based on whatever the hell you want, honestly.
Okay.
It's your
Alright, well, we'll go for it. Well, I don't know, maybe just swap Ben and I. Ben won BAM. It's the best. I didn't even go. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Shitashi's
number...
Shitashi... Oh, wait, did he win a Rambit? He did win a Rambit. Damn it. Him and SadHour should be swapped because SadHour literally only, after the Ken changes, literally only lost to me and Spammage once.
Right.
So, and he beat him a lot. And then SadHour also beat Ben a lot. You should swap. Let's see. Jono should be higher because he beat Jace.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Ari should be 5th because he
was underrated. So you're swapping him with Flex?
Yeah, and then Flex. What did Ari do at the Rambat? I can't remember.
Ari does well at Friday Night Smashes. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure about the Rambats, how well his performance has been. But I mean, there's somebody on there who's number 1 who hasn't got the best Rambat performances. So do they really matter that much according to their logic?
They're weighted more heavily, but maybe not as heavily as they should be.
Yeah. And then what about 7 to 11? Spammage. Obviously, he's got to be in HM.
Maybe we should put...
Because, I mean, what was the logic last time? That I
do remember legitimately going like, oh, Spammage might be HM. Hey, maybe, can I just say like it should be a 10-man PR and Spammage should be... This wasn't before we were like thought he was good or thought he was PR level, but I was like, hang on, he's actually doing like his really results are good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Does it count if I say it should be a 10-man PR and he should also be HM? Because then he's HM with them, and they've got 5 HM.
Well, I mean, why was Nagima HM last time? What was the reasoning?
Because we live in a society.
Honestly, I would, if I were doing this, I would take Spammage, put him number 10, and drop Gus down to HM. Gus himself said he was pretty surprised. I mean, I'm fine with the 11-man PR.
He only like came... what did he do? He came like 3rd at one Rambat. Quite good.
Yeah, but if we're talking chopping off at the 10 mark, I'm putting Spammage in 10.
Yep.
Nagima results dropped off. Yeah, he did drop off.
End of last season. Yep. But then he's picked up more. He came like 4th at that Rambat.
But the thing is, like, if you're dropping Nagima off, you're looking at the HMs to replace them. And are any of those HMs going to be able to make it to PR? Do you think maybe we do a 15
I think they're all very capable of it. Crimson Comet literally was PR for 1 or 2 seasons in Smash 4. He just doesn't come to that much. And he plays like Wolf and Palutena, so character's not a big problem.
I don't think Joz has actually made it on a PR yet.
I think it was HM on a Smash 4 PR or something. Yeah,
but not one of the
not on the actual PR, but yeah.
But he's always been very close.
He's always been that like gatekeeper level. I found actually in Smash 4 I just didn't like Me Too. I found them hard. So
but we got Spammage, Sicknick, Churopon, and I think that's it for ultimate only players. I just realized.
Oh, as in Yep.
They didn't play Smash 4 very much at all, if that.
Yeah, I think some of them went to like 1
Yeah.
or 2 tournaments.
That's kind of nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it. Oh, it's interesting to think about it. You could almost think of it as like depressing if you're a veteran.
Yeah,
You're like,
you put in so much work,
oh,
right?
I did it. So they don't know what they don't
They don't
deserve
know.
where they are. They should be.
They don't know what it was like.
They
to
should
go
have played
against-
Smash 64 in the womb, and otherwise they don't deserve it.
Yeah. They had to be
But it does
comboed
show,
by Bayo
like,
in real life.
It says, yeah, they don't understand suffering. They're like, oh, Wolf, Snake kicked me. Oh, that's not fair.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think it's really impressive that we've got these new players that are coming up.
I think it's very healthy
Yeah.
for the scene. Having like newer, if it's just like the old people, like just keeping it as well. It's not as interesting.
Yeah.
It's not encouraging for other new players because if they see someone who like didn't play Smash 4, like suddenly, like on the PR, they're like, oh, what's stopping me
Yeah.
from doing that? Or at least that's not stopping me. That shouldn't be stopping me.
So overall, though, outside of Ganon's advocate, you reckon this is good PR?
Some of the changes we discussed, like now that I think of it, actually do kind of make sense. Like Gus being HM, I don't know, like I haven't taken a super close look at it.
Yeah, but on the surface, you reckon that there's some changes could be made?
Yeah, like I don't know. I think Nick's good, but I don't know about him being above like Jono, like
Yeah.
for example. But
Regardless,
I don't know.
I think that the top
think-
11 has been very well chosen. I
Yeah.
feel like I wouldn't take any of those out or put any in.
Yeah.
The artwork is really good. And it'll be interesting how it develops from this point. It's also really hard. Like, if you've ever been on the PR panel, it's like you have to choose, like, a moment where it's the cutoff. And then every time, it's like the PR curse. Every time you release it, everyone gets really motivated or, like, people start dropping games, like, immediately afterwards. And it becomes completely irrelevant.
It's just wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Ranbat Raptor 4 does some weird things, like the guy who's the best doesn't win.
Yeah, he does.
He
Yeah.
comes 7.
Anyway, that's the end of Canon's Advocate. I don't think we want to talk too much about ranking players, though the PR is a good opportunity to talk about it. We don't want to like discourage people who have achieved what they've achieved. They have earned it, and we don't want to sort of say that our opinion is more valid than the PR panelists.
Yeah.
It's just an opinion. Anyway, after that, I think we've got the final segment of where we involve the viewers, which is Twitch questions. Now, we've all been carefully reading all of your words, but now we'll be even more carefully reading them. So you don't have to be a subscriber or anything like that, but if you've been watching just to ask a question, now is the time.
Yep. They're no longer heckles. We actually want them.
Origin of SadHour. That's
Origin
the
of
perfect one.
That's a good one.
Yes.
So, what was it? When I was in high school, one time, I was sitting in the library and I just saw a newspaper that said something happy hour, and I was like, what if that was a sad hour? And then I did in my Japanese class, I did do you know Kahoot? It's like a learning tool, the quiz thing. So you go in there and you pick your name, and I did that, and I thought it was funny. And then I went to my first tournament, and they asked, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Oh, Finn." And they're like, "But do you have a tag?" I was like, "Sad hour." Thought it was really, and then it was, I don't know. It's not a bad conversation point, at least they're like, "Why is it sad?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like happy hour, but sad. Isn't that funny?" And then they go, "No." Yeah.
It's funny now. It's funny once you've explained it.
It's pretty funny.
But it's also
But I
really lame.
kind of like how stupid it is.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the Snake Ridley matchup?
Snake wins, but I'm bad at it. But I do think Ridley's got some strengths. Like, first off, Ridley's fast.
Yeah.
Second, it's a bit harder to just like pick whether to recover super high or low against him because he's pretty good at covering either.
Okay.
But if Snake's like winning, his advantage should be super, super good against him.
Do you reckon Ridley's underrated? What do you reckon Ridley's strengths are that people don't really rate?
Slightly. Ridley's really fast.
Yeah.
He's very fast. He's got good moves. Like good hitboxes. But he's kind of like simplistic. Like it's neutral and stuff. He doesn't have like crazy tricks. He's just fast and has like a good forward tilt, and his neutral is good. So I think he's got like a few individual things that are really, really good, but he doesn't really come together to form like a really stupid character. Oh, except maybe I think like his side B and his coupled with his dash attack is kind of coupled with him being fast on the ground, leads to this thing of like, oh, is he going to grab or
It's
dash
a guessing
attack?
game, yeah.
Which is annoying.
So to win the snake matchup, he really has to utilize that speed because it's one of the only things he's
speed,
got
and
going
then
for.
like if he gets him in a disadvantage, abuse it.
Have to against
Which is
snake.
something Jono's good at, which is why I don't really like playing. I prefer to just keep him more consistent, like Lucina,
Yeah, righto.
Ridley.
Chirapon, why don't you play Persona 5? And Anne is not best girl. Or is that...
I forgot which one Anne is again. But I remember like looking at the Twitch chat and going, oh yeah. No, they were no, I remember watching from Twitch chat. They were talking Persona 5. So I looked up the characters and I was like, that one's the best. And then, yeah. I'll probably get the Royal when it comes out because there's not much point in me getting 5, or at least in my mind, when the Royal's going to come out. And that's like the full definitive version.
It's not on Switch yet, is it?
No, I don't think it's likely to come out on Switch.
How is that where Crash Bandicoot hasn't come out yet, but it's on the Switch, but they pick a PlayStation exclusive game for Smash? That hurts. Anyway.
But he's cool. He stole it.
He stole it.
He stole it.
He did. That's true.
He probably stole it from Crash.
And I've heard it's a really sick game. Yeah, Crash probably fell asleep immediately after receiving it. Gradivis 1464. Do you have any thoughts about how the rest of the top of Queensland don't have a usual top tier main and you play two very high top tier characters? So do you reckon if you played Robin still, you would do poorly, or do you reckon that you...
Well, the thing is with Robin in this game is I genuinely don't enjoy them as much. Like the things I liked about them in Smash 4 are kind of gone. Even if they might be better, I just don't like them as much. And like after Smash 4, I just like kind of thought, I'd rather just play someone who's good. And the thing is, like I do genuinely really, really like playing as Snake. Like before the game came out, when I played those like demos, I really, really like playing as Snake, and I'd be like, I love Snake. Like he's sick. So I do genuinely really like playing him. Not as much Lucina, but I do like her more now.
Yeah.
And like I do. Like I don't want me losing to be because of my character. Yeah. Basically. As for like other top players in QLD, like not using the top tiers, there's like different reasons for each one. So like Shitashi and Shadra are both like character loyalists. Yeah. Like even if they're really bad, they'll probably still just play the same characters because it suits them the best.
And they'd still be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben didn't want to. I remember before the game came out, Ben like told me, he's like, I'm so excited to not play Cloud. Like, he just doesn't want to. He just doesn't like that character. I think he's almost like more suited to heavies. Yeah. Like the way he plays. Yeah. So
definitely.
I think.
Bruises.
I think people tend to find that they are playing characters that suit them more than ones that are necessarily like top tier. Yeah. It's just very lucky for me that the characters that suit me are also very, very good.
And honestly, can I say this? Extra was the best in Australia when he played Game & Watch for a really long time. I'd say the character you pick has not a huge amount of influence in Australia.
Yeah. I think when it comes to picking characters, actually this is probably something I thought of, or something I know about that I actually was hoping I could mention on this stream. So have you heard of like it's called the Ikigai? It's like a Japanese it's like a philosophical concept about like what you should do in life. All right, so basically it's like a Venn diagram of like 4 intersecting things. Yeah. So for like a job, it should be something that you like, you're good at, something that supports you, and something that the world needs. Okay. So you can also apply that to your characters generally. Right. So it should be a character you like. Yeah. Or this is ideal. A character you like, one that you're good with. Yeah. One that supports you, or at least supports what you want to do in the game. So if you want to be the best, then playing a good character is helpful. As your reasoning, yeah. As for the world needs, it's a bit harder to say. Yeah, to translate that. It could be more about like if you really want to shift the meta or something, or if you wanted to show like this character's actually good. So as for me, like I don't think the onus is on me to do that. Yeah. Like I don't have to be like, Robin's actually super broken. Let me show them. Like there's other people doing that. Yeah. Or at least working towards something like that.
Righto.
But
no,
yeah,
that's really good advice.
considering
I think a lot of
those
people
when picking a character.
can use that. Squid Fist. How do you feel about Wii Fit versus Snake matchup? Are we just gonna get matchup questions?
I'm getting some matchup questions. How do you feel about Wii Fit versus Snake matchup? Snake probably wins, but I do think Wii Fit's a bit underrated.
Yeah.
Um,
Wii Fit's pretty good.
yeah, I think, I don't know, not many. Let's see, Whitey plays her, but yeah, I think she's
Lemmy.
underrepresented. But I think she's pretty good. So I don't know. Snake probably wins just partially because it's Snake.
Yeah.
But I think Wii Fit does have good strengths. Like when I remember when playing like against Lumi, the way he plays like makes me not want to use Nikita as much, because he does the soccer ball.
Yeah. And
So I
then
get
if
like
you
hit for it.
Nikita, Yeah.
And what else? Just advantage is pretty good at it. If you're both camping, that does mean Wii Fit can get access to
Deep breathing.
deep breathing.
And sun
But
salutation.
Snake still has, like none of his like core strengths or anything are completely nullified, so he still maintains those. So I'd probably put it as like slightly Snake winning.
Okay. Fair calls. Spammage.
How much do I have to suck up to you for you to play Lucina against me?
Ooh,
Uh,
quite a lot, I'd say.
well, in a serious way, I guess you'd probably have to in order for me to switch off Snake against you, you'd probably have to do something in the game that convinces me that it's not going to work, or at least it's not going to work as well as Lucina. So I know you've been playing Fox, and I think Fox is a good matchup against Snake. So if you were good enough with Fox to make me second guess picking Lucina, then that is, if you just hate fighting Snake, which I get, then that might be a good way to kick me off of it.
Fair
think.
enough. I don't know if that'll happen, but at least he's got a game plan now to go forward. So
Saren.
Rand,
Yeah.
Saren Rand, what's your approach to Snake Dittos?
I
Use
talked
the
about
grenade.
Snake Dittos with Sandman and Ingong, and his advice was pretty good. It's pretty much just camp. If you can do more like chip damage to them, like with grenades and stuff and Nikita, and not have to approach, then you're winning.
Yeah.
So, lame them out, and then just be smart in disadvantage with like Nikita and stuff. I've like considered stuff you can do, like maybe you might be able to back air it or something because you've got that lingering back air hitbox. But yeah, and then you know like the tricks, and you know how to abuse Snake because you play Snake, or you should. So don't play smart, I guess, and then don't approach if you don't need to.
Fair enough. Are there any moves that in particular you want to avoid using because they don't work and they might work in other matchups?
What comes to mind at first is probably dash attack, maybe,
All right.
because you might be more likely to set off a grenade by doing that.
Yeah.
His dash attack's still like a really good move though, so I don't think there's anything you should just like be like, oh, don't use it.
Also, if they shield it, then the other snake can just dash attack right back, right?
And then they're just two snakes diving around.
Yeah, exactly.
Very exciting.
Anyway, Classic Jono asks, why was Timmy drinking beer in that photo?
Because Bali is a lawless wasteland.
Yes.
No, because Timmy's a tricky one. So for those who don't know, Timmy's my younger brother. It's hard for him to just get him to do what you want. So we gave him like it's in Bali, the most popular drink by far is bintang.
I got a bintang singlet.
Yeah, everybody gets something bintang related. But there's also the bintang rattler, which is like it's like a soda, kind of like a lemonade kind of thing. So it's very, very low alcohol content. So he was allowed one. Yep.
Good on him. All right, Sick Nick. Person in Queensland you're most scared of losing to?
Nekima,
Probably.
but that's already happened. All my nightmares are real.
Now you've just got trash talk coming out the arse from Negima. I think a lot of people don't want to lose to him for that, right? They don't want to be like, I beat you.
But he played well, so.
Damn.
I'm trying to think of people I don't want to lose to. I kind of like how I haven't really lost to any of like the super
Up and comers.
It makes me feel very superior.
You've got the
Like I haven't lost to Sick Nick or Chirapon or Spammage.
You're a smash Nazi right now.
Yeah.
You got that superior feeling.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I'm just a boomer Smash
yeah,
Boomer, very
Smash
superior.
Boomer. There you go.
But because of the experience, I should vote, and you're not allowed to.
All right, Sick
Yeah,
Nick.
it might be the newer place.
I'm sorry, verse 48. Do you think your characters will get hit in the next patch notes?
Snake for sure. No, I think Snake is probably Snake and Joker are probably the biggest targets for nerfs.
But they nerfed him last patch, didn't they?
No. Oh, so in the last patch, Snake wasn't nerfed, and the one before
that.
he didn't even feel like it was more like an adjustment than the nerf.
What,
so
the up smash? I thought
the
it was...
up smash has like 4 more frames of lag.
Oh, okay.
So not a whole lot. Is side B's got nerfed, but I hardly noticed it. So I think there's lots and lots of things they could change.
What would you change personally?
So before that patch that I mentioned before, I kind of liked the way they changed it because I thought up smash and Nikita were very degenerate.
Yeah,
and
it's just so easy to spam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have preferred that they like nerf is like degenerate moves, but then buff like is cool moves.
Yeah.
Or like make them more consistent. So let's see. His up tilt's pretty stupid. So they could make the lingering hitbox, the weak hit of it, actually weaker.
Yeah, right.
So
it doesn't get...
Because it's just a lingering hitbox and it's still like really strong.
And really dumb.
So there's that.
Yeah.
His back throw and forward throw probably don't need to be as strong as like kill throws.
Yeah.
His dash attack's kind of dumb. I don't know exactly what they changed about it because I still want it to be like usable. I don't want to just like gut moves, like make them just not work.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know. So maybe make it so it doesn't cross up as much because it crosses up often and it's a bit ambiguous.
And a lot of moves don't get the cross up privilege.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit...
Maybe make I don't know, probably do something for Nikita. Maybe give it either more startup or end lag, so then it's more of a commitment to use.
Okay.
Nerf.
Nikita
But yeah, probably just
Nikita
change a bunch of that. But in exchange, I don't like... One thing I really don't like about Snake is the way sticky works, sticking the C4. I don't like how when it falls off, it's very inconsistent. I'd prefer it to be like if you were to like go into training mode and practice doing the sticky back throw, then blowing it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works most of the times, but sometimes it just falls off and then you blow yourself up, which is like
that's annoying. Yeah.
Even though sticky like I don't think it should just stay on them, but I think I don't know it should be more consistent instead of random.
Have a very
I
clear
prefer it
set
to be
of rules.
consistent and understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, and other nerfs.
You don't have to keep nerfing him. He sounds pretty alright now after you've made the couple of...
Yeah, just some of those adjustments I think would probably make him more reasonable.
And honestly, I see him as being good, but I see him as like inherently like one of the best owners.
He doesn't seem like completely unbeatable.
Yeah.
Either, because we see people like
destroying him
all the time.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I think he's got that. He splits the cast a little bit because he is so good, but he doesn't have
he's
a tier destroying level like we've seen with other really top tier characters. I feel like he's definitely top tier, but he doesn't do anything that like invalidates anybody.
Not too hard, or maybe some like really bad characters don't do.
Yeah,
like I feel like
they're invalidated by a lot of characters. I think way further down.
I think a better approach would probably be to buff them. I think. Well, also just I don't know. I guess people are loss averse, so they feel the nerfs to their characters more than buffs to other characters.
Yeah.
But I think I think generally the patches they've done so far are pretty good, so I do trust them to make.
I've been impressed.
Smart changes.
Yeah, the patches have been good, and the way that
So
they've
maybe-
communicated them have been pretty good too.
I don't know. I thought maybe they may have gone a bit far with like Pichu and Olimar, but like we just saw DeBuzz be like a stock away from winning a major today with mostly Olimar, and then his other character was Rosa, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some of it's kind of dumb. The shield thing and then the up B thing I thought were not completely necessary because I didn't think those were massive strengths. I thought it was mainly the damage output that I thought was kind of dumb.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like you said, that you don't want to nerf the stuff. Like, obviously the damage is probably too far, but they're obviously cautious of not taking away the strengths and more adding weaknesses in other areas. I think was the philosophy there, and I can agree with that. Like, I don't want to take away... Maybe Olimar shouldn't be a combo character, but I don't want to take away the fun combo that he's got where he can do those. Yeah. Anyway, buy Prolar from the B moves from the SSB roster. Build your desired character. Ooh.
Ooh, this is gonna be really broken.
Yeah, right.
If I get Joker's down B, does that mean I get backup man? Do I get Arsene?
Ooh. And empowered moves? Or just changed moves?
Well, just working out Arsene moves, where you get like Colgate all over your moves that make them stronger.
Okay, sure.
So
you get Arsene.
They get their down
You get
B.
backup man. What's the best side B in the game?
I'm leaning towards Nikita.
That is good.
So maybe that.
Yeah.
Neutral B.
Charge shot would be good, wouldn't it?
I thought of charge shot. Oh no, wait, Monado Arts.
Oh,
No question,
okay.
Monado Arts.
Yeah.
We're making an all-in-one character.
The most complicated as well.
Yeah.
He's already got Arsene and Monado Arts.
Their up B is probably like, I don't know, like Game & Watch's up B or something. That move's
That's a good one.
obnoxious.
It's pretty linear though. You don't want to make it like a teleport up B, like a chic one.
Yeah, but what if I got Unova? Then I'm just dead.
Oh,
I just go on the wall and die.
Ultimate taking you down.
Oh, down B deep breathing. There's lots of good down Bs, aren't there? Lucina up B is also good, but I think Game & Watch is
better.
well, at least more spammable.
Because he can air dodge out of the top anyway, so you still got
Well,
that.
you're not in free for all after doing it.
Yeah.
You can just do it.
So probably Game & Watch.
Yeah, and Game & Watches is actually pretty good for edge guarding as well.
Yeah.
Pokemon Switch. So does that just let me switch between 3 characters?
That would be busted.
So I don't know, like Snake, Lucina, and then... But if Joker does it, then he doesn't have a down piece, so he might have Arsene. So it'll be like Snake, Lucina, and then... I don't know. Who else do I like? Wolf.
You like Wolf, huh?
Yeah. Wolf's pretty fun.
Righto.
But yeah, I think yeah, the Monado Arts, Joker's down B, Game & Watch's up B, and Nikita.
That would be busted.
On
Snake.
On Snake, maybe. Or Lucina. Maybe
Lucina would be better with the Monado Arts, but Snake being a heavy with that recovery would be ridiculous.
Oh, and
with the hitbox going up and it's really quick.
And Shield Monado?
Shield Monado. Oh, yeah. No.
We're now entering Don't Die mode.
Up lingering hitbox, up tilt,
and then
smash.
Arsene's there.
Yeah. Nah, that's busted. All right. But yeah, you wouldn't have grenades. You'd only have his regular moves.
Yeah, but he's got up B, so he's got to move for disadvantage anyway.
And he's got Nikita still.
Yeah, but that's what I think Lucina would probably suit it better because like she still has like the good, like Snake's normals are good, but Lucina's are more like she can just use normals and neutral, and then that's a good neutral.
Imagine
Whereas
up being and then like getting the click and then using your up air with like smash Monado as you do it. That'd be busted.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think we've got.
And you could also have Arsene.
Yeah. Arsene speed Monado. Yeah.
Yep.
Busted.
So it would probably just be Arsene like behind you, just doing what he normally does. So his extra hitboxes.
Yeah. No.
That sounds really stupid.
Watch. That'll be one of the new characters. That'll be Banjo. It's Banjo coming through. Okay. So we've run out of questions from you guys. I think that might be the end. I don't think we've got anything left over. We've talked about all the different topics that I wanted to talk about today.
Talked about PR and different states.
Yeah.
Did you mention you wanted to talk the meta in general? Oh, we kind of did that a
Yeah.
little bit, going about like Snake being the best. Kind of.
Well, how about this? What do you think the most underrated character in the game is? We'll finish after this. We'll head off. So, what do you think the most underrated character of the game is? What do you think the best character of the game is? And what do you think the worst character of the game is? Oh, and what do you think the most overrated character? So 4 things: underrated, overrated, best, worst.
Underrated? It's kind of hard to go between like underrated and underrepresented, because I still think like Inkling is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like people are aware that their character is good, but I don't think they're like. I don't know. I think
she's overrated.
Ah.
Personally.
Yeah.
Or he.
It.
The being of sin.
Squid.
I think I agree. Like, it hasn't reached its full potential yet. But there are a lot of things that once you play it, you start to be like, this is busted, but it's very... Yeah, it's very noob crushy.
Yeah, like the roller and stuff.
Like,
Yeah. I wasn't thinking so much that. I was thinking more like their movement is really, really good. The edge guarding is super good. They have like just really, really fast. They're kind of versatile enough where I feel like they can handle pretty much any matchup
Yeah.
fine enough. So that's why I think they might be a bit underrated, or at least underused. I feel like if it wasn't just Cosmos
Yeah.
doing well with him, then I think people would see more of them.
And I think if you look at local scenes as well, you do see a couple of different Inklings who just like dominate.
Yeah, I don't know, like a lot of like the high level like Smash Diddy seem to like move to Inkling, like Dyer and stuff. Who else? I think we mentioned that. I think Wii Fit Trainer may be a little underrepresented.
Yeah, for sure.
Earlier,
I'd put
I think
her
Wii
up
Fit's
in my
good.
big underrated.
Maybe Young Link as well. I think that character's got so much stuff going for them.
Yeah.
There's so much they can do. Like it just seems like really really good. And some of the moves, like their arrow, just seems kind of absurd.
Yeah.
To me.
Things that they could hard make work.
I think someone like really good playing like Tweak. When Tweak used Young Link, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're like super top tier, but I think that they're good and a little underrepresented.
How about overrated?
Overrated? I do remember kind of maybe thinking Palutena a little bit earlier.
Ooh.
I still don't like playing against her. I still think she's really good, but I also think she's a little simple.
I think she's fallen off because of that as well. Like, Buzz used to play her, now used to play her, but they're both still moving away from it.
I could be wrong about this, to be honest, and I think, like, they're still really good, but some people are like, oh, this character's like the best in the game.
Yeah,
or,
I
like,
think it's
she's, like,
comparative,
really
right? Like, a lot of people put her in, like, easy top 5, like, top 2, best character, but now we're sort of saying, like, you know, she's probably top tier, but she's on the border.
Yeah, she is good, though.
Yeah, she's good.
What was the next one? Worst character? Or best character?
Worst or best, whichever one you want to go with
worst.
Little.
Probably Little Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
now you
my
mention
god, he needs something. He needs a little bit of love.
He's so like such a badly designed character. Pretty glad he's bad though. I don't like playing against
I would
him.
not want him to be good.
Then best character.
This is the money.
I played Snake or played Ganon's Advocate for Snake for a while, but I think that the matchup spread thing, like I said before, kind of just holds him back a little bit. Because I feel like the best character in the game, you should be able to just like
win
be like,
the majority.
this is a good pick for like any matchup.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So who do you think's got that? Do you agree with Tweak? Do you reckon it's Inkling or?
I probably wouldn't say Inkling. It might be Lucina, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, she's got like just really good tools for every matchup, and
I think a lot of it might come down to the fact that she'll never really lose a matchup.
Super hard.
Even if it gets worse.
What was I gonna say? Oh, actually, I remember one for underrated characters. I think Greninja's underrated.
Yeah.
Or at least like
got bad out
underrepresented.
of shield options is the one complaint I've heard.
There's that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot you can do.
I think he'll start to develop as well. It's
Yeah,
one of those characters.
yeah, I think I'd like to see more of him. But yeah, best character, if I had to say, probably Lucina. Worst character, Little Mac.
Poor Little Mac.
I'm being pushed to answer this though, so I really didn't. Especially after that patch where Pichu and Olimar were nerfed. I felt like I had a good idea, but I felt really like lost about like positioning characters.
Yeah,
after
this
that.
isn't a definitive list at any rate. You'll eventually release, I'm sure, your tier list at some point and be like, this is what I think.
I tried making one towards the end of Smash 4 and I was like, this is hard. Or at least after the top 15, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, I tried to make a Lucas matchup spread once, and I got like the first like 8 characters I had good experience with, and I went,
I don't know.
I don't know any of these. Yeah, what is Charizard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that'll be the end of the 3rd episode. We'll cut at that. If you have joined us for the entirety of the time, you are a very special, loved little human being. But for the rest of you, you're still loved and you're still special, but in a different way. And I want you to know that.
Equally, but not as equal.
Go and get your sleep. It's 10:04 p.m. according to us. We will not be playing games anymore. We've decided that's it's just for fun, and we'll play games, but we don't need to show it to you guys. You guys need to go get your sleep. You probably got something on tomorrow. It's Tuesday, but thanks for sticking with us all this way.
Thank you.
Our next guest will just be me talking to myself, because Jet will just hand me the microphone while I'm in the cage, and you'll hear my ramblings as I wonder how I'm going to ration a single piece of cheese for the rest of the week. Anyway, I love you all dearly. Get some sleep again. And
Thank you.
anything you would like to say to your fans and the rest of Queensland? Say it now.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
And I plan on defending Queensland in SSU.
Yes. Make sure you go to it. Oh, and follow him on Twitter. And just in real life, stalk him a little bit. Okay. Good night, everyone.